What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang.
And that's you. For
being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. And welcome to Tuesday night. Dita. You in here with the Bruce Wayne of this ish. The King of Kings, the King of Content, and the Speaker of Truth. Yours truly, the Notorious one. A.K.A. Mr. Coachalini, better known as the Prognosticator, Coach Thomas. And you're in the Desert Storm Bunker with none other than EWF. That is every woman's fantasy, but you can call me CGA, God Allah. And I be the 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. We're going to talk about the main event topic here, CNN. New world order. Put out what I haven't reviewed the video. I just grabbed the screenshot and I said, I'll review it live like I normally do.
We'll do it live. Okay.
We're going to do it live.
Do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
I'll do it live. I'll review the 6-minute video, 6-minute plus video of a woman who said she dated only far-right individuals for 1 year. Basically, she's been in these streets. And her result is that she's going to, I guess she's interviewed somebody in the Manosphere. All right, so we're going to go ahead and review that and see what her take is on her perception of alt-right or far-right men. And I'm assuming they're white men. And, of course, the woman is a Natashka.
Where the white women at?
All right, she could have got me, too. All right, I'm pretty sure I've gotten a couple times by a far-right reporter that got them cheeks clapped.
Hey, where are the white women at?
All right, and it might have been, it's a Ling Ling. She knows who she is. All right, but we got spies in here spying on the Ku Klux Klanosphere.
Where the white women at?
And the Ku Klux Klanosphere is, I guess, associated with far right men. All right, and so we know what side of the Manosphere she's on. Okay,
hey, where are the white women at?
We know what side of the Manosphere she's on. So apparently, she said she has a synopsis on what these far right men think like, and that's all I know. So we're gonna review it live later on in the show as the main event. Also coming up, a woman says men over 40 who have never been married and have no kids are a red flag. She says it's not a flex. All right. And we're going to go ahead and review what she's talking about. Not the first time I heard something like that, but let's see what she's talking about. They're scrambling and scraping for shit. Boy, people are so judgmental of people around here. All right, they're so judgmental of people. Man, you can't win around here. You definitely can't win in many cases. All right. But to contribute to today's show, $ the Notorious CGA on the Cash App, Venmo. It is Coach Greg Adams TV. PayPal is paypal.me/Coach Greg Adams. And that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And you can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. All right, who did I piss off in the earlier stream? All right, I be triggering a lot of people here, and everybody can get that work. All right, everybody gets that work. So don't worry about it, but it is the evening show. It is the evening service. All right, here, we're out here. Every woman's fantasy. I got some clips for tomorrow's show that are going to blow people's socks off. Pause. So it's going to be a fun time. Anyway, there was somebody that contributed to the show as we were closing, grand opening, grand closing. So I do want to acknowledge those contributors. And number one, it is J to the D. JD is in the building. Appreciate you. And he's over on the Cash App. Shout out to that brother there. There was a rapper named JD from the lynch mob back in the day. He went to prison. Is he out? All right. He was on the lynch mob record, Ice Cube's group, and he went to jail. And then the second record, he wasn't on it. I don't know. And I think he got maybe 20 years. He might be out by now. He might be out of the pen. Fresh out, he says, out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. All right, maybe he's California dreaming. All right, we got our brother here. It is the legendary. Let me see if I can say his name. I might not be able to say his name. It's the legendary. Monk Dan is in the building. Shout out to Monk Dan. That's a sponsorship. Appreciate you.
I'm Rizz, baby.
Shout out to you, Monk Dan. He says, Coach, thanks for all that you do for us. Where are you? Abel returns to Eden. Check in. We monks need to hear from you. Shout out to Cali, West Miami, and Larry. This mine, see. All right, this mine. This is mine, see. Larry missed the stream where I went in on him, so I know he might be trying to review it. But he said free agent lifestyle for life. Shout out to the monks.
For life.
Yeah, that is definitely, what do you call it? Abel returns to Eden. Yeah, shout out to him. All right, he's original monk mode out there. And thank you for the support. Did I get this brother here? It is Sergeant Tony. Yes, he says, I'm a life mercenary who follows the wisdoms of the three wise men, De La Soul, me, myself, and I. That was earlier in today's stream. You could do a lot. You could do a lot in this world by giving a fuck about yourself. Right, for real. Okay, when you start worrying about everybody else and everybody else's business, but your backyard is all jacked up, you can realize, man, people just take care of yourselves. That is how you build a community. Take care of yourself. Making me take care of all these snotty nose ass kids and these hood rats and these pieces of trailer park trash. I don't got no time to worry about all these people. What about the poor people? All right, throwing money at the poor and helping them is not going to help them very much. All right, they're day to day. All right, it is. It's a slippery slope. You got to give people an opportunity to grow. You got to tell them what help really is. Giving out handouts ain't going to help nobody. But it'll allow me to control you. All right, shout out to our brother. It is Justin B. He kicked in as the stream went off. He says, Coach, keep doing what you're doing. First time sponsor, was going to spend this on a beach, but take my money. Finally graduated from 5 figures to 6 figures and can donate to you at the tender age of 35. Gentlemen, boss up out here. I love to see it.
Boss up, nigga.
I love to see it. That's a co-sponsorship. We'll give you a sponsorship.
I'm Rizz, bitch.
I'll give you a sponsorship. Mr. Inquisitive says, damn, Coach, you skipped my second sponsorship. I was giving you flowers about that leverage list you said, and I wrote it down. Hopefully you see it. It's all good, though. Much love anyway. Well, let me go back and see what happened. All right. I guess it was the second one. He says, Coach, I wrote down the 4 option list, and at the end was the best when you said signed Beach as the signature. Straight up, I will use this with conviction and high confidence because my leverage is up. My motto is, I'm not trying to control her life. I'm trying to control mine. Mr. Inquisitive. Guys, one thing you cannot control is a woman. All right, any man that's sitting out here telling you that you can control a woman as a means to getting the leg up in your relationship, you don't realize he's telling you to waste your time. Guys, there's a war going on out here every day. There is a war. When you wake up, it's war time.
New world order.
Right? We tell you guys. As a man, when you wake up, the battle is not between you and your woman. Your woman is supposed to technically be a helpmeet to this. This is how the system was supposed to design. Now, they don't want to do this anymore. They have no interest in doing this. Fine with me. Lady, go do you. Just part your legs, part the pink sea when I need it. All right? I'm not kind of, they be like, you need to control and keep a bitch in check. Guys, leave them alone, man. Because today's women will test you to no end. They got time. They have time. Guys, and a woman in check today is a rebel chick tomorrow. Okay? I don't have time. You don't have the time and energy to be out here checking a girl. All right? Let these horses run free. What did we say? Let these horses run free. Let them run free, man. And then when they come back begging or come back bragging, baby, do you. I don't give a fuck. But keeping a girl in check is literally the worst of your problems. Leave it alone, man. There's better things that you can do, and there's a greater reward by doing it. All right? Strong arming bitches and putting her on your program. Bitch, you better get on my program. You better listen to me. All right, when I say shut up, I say shut up. Wasting your time. You can just leave that liver alone, bruh. All right, but I'm trying to help these young brothers out here because you will waste hours, manpower, energy. Well, we call it money, energy, attention, and time trying to keep a woman in check in the year 2025. Let them go. All right, let them girls go out here. Now you be like, well, they're going to hit the wall and they're going to end up, who cares? Man, who cares about all that? Do you really motherfucking care? I don't care. Right? I don't care what happens to anybody. As our brother said, Sergeant Tony, it's me, myself, and I. I don't care, man. Sink or swim. Anyway, we got a great show for you lined up. Let me go ahead and drop this first one here because you guys know what day it is. It is Tuesday, and we got Tortas, and we got a torta rizzer. We got a guy that's about to rizz some tortas out here, and let's see if we can drop some torta rizz out here for the brothers that like them round and big. All right, yes, indeed. All right, here it is right here. I don't know his name. Well, I do see his name here on the screen. It is AJ Volten, rizzing tortas and studs. All right, so as you can see here, all right, let's see if we can see here. We got a torta rizzer, and in the front is a stud. The second one, I guess, would be a baddie. You know, she's kind of like, you know, regular sloppy yogurt. And behind her is the torta of all tortas. And he's going to, let's see what his Rizz game is looking like here on a Tuesday here. Here we go.
Before you go in, I have to compliment. You're so beautiful. Thank you. No, I'm talking to this queen right here.
Oh, no. All right, so we'll play the whole clip. So the baddie girl dressed in baddie attire thought he was talking to the baddie, but he was talking to the torta. Okay. And she was caught off guard. She was like, who, me?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
All right, you talking to me? But look at this body. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be a nasty nut. All right, she got the short arms and shit. All right, so she got all of that shit. Let's go back to the beginning here. All right, so he hit her with the negging. All right, okay, let's see here.
Excuse me, guys. Before you go in, I have to compliment. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
No, I'm talking to this queen right here. And yeah, like your outfit, I love the jeans. The crop top's so cute. And yeah, I'm going to this dance actually, a Pinche Chingon. Do you have like an Instagram or anything?
Yeah.
Go ahead and write it down. Yeah, it's tortita season, cut. You already know. I love them. Yeah.
Why did you ask her?
Because you my type, cut.
All right, so, oh my goodness, look at that big mouth. Look at that big ass mouth. Look at that big ass mouth. So, she's shocked, all right, and he about to hit this nasty ground beef. He about to hit all of this. It's about to make the mayonnaise sound, cheeks clapping, the booty start making that clapping sound, flaps flapping. All right, she got a roadmap on her stomach of a roadmap to El Paso tucked into that goddamn stomach right there, tucked into them jeans. Why didn't you ask her? He was like, you're my type, baby. I need you. I need you right here.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Look at how big that mouth is. Brothers, y'all don't got no equipment to fill that mouth up. All right, that's going to be a nasty night. All right, look at that gun. All right, this is going to be good. Oh, I bet you her booty look like a triangle in the back. All right, yes, indeed. All right, she's like, ha, ha. Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right, let's see what's happening here.
You speak Spanish? A la pinche tortita, me encantan las tortitas, ka. Matter of fact, is she single too, that study? You mad cute. I need me a stud in my life. Let me reset you. Let me reset you, queen. The stud that got away, ka. The stud that got away, ka. Hey, you win some, you lose some, ka. Oh, no. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Shout out to AJ Volten. Man, he wanted the stud and the torta. It is Tuesday. Sometimes, you know. Sometimes you got to go where he was like, why do you don't want the baddie chick? All right, the baddie chick was sloppily built too, but let's not talk about that. We'll give it. All right, he was like, I'll reset you. He wants to reset the stud. This ninja is out of control.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
All right, out of control. Yo, all right, some of y'all be starving like that, talking about, Coach, I get it for free. All right, but we have another thing here for the incels. Apparently, you know the woman, what is the actress's name that is in the movie Snow White? You know, people have been wanting to cancel her for a long time. Anybody know this actress's name? Actress Snow White. She's like a feminist, all right, and she's been creating controversy. Her name is Rachel Zegler. I believe this is her here, yes. Is she Latina? She's a Latina Snow White for our Tuesday pleasures. right. And everybody knows Rachel Zegler here. She does have a you-know-who-ish or a German last name. That's what I'm picking up. Maybe I'm mispronouncing it here. But apparently people been throwing her up under the bus. And here's what happened here. They have a picture of her, and they're saying this is why Disney is about to lose $300 million. All right, and there she is. Apparently, I don't know where they got this picture from, if it's AI or real. But what you can see here is she's definitely a Latina. She's definitely for the brothers that like Latinas here. She look. All right. I don't know what it is. Is she Colombian? Colombian. All right. She's Colombian there. There it is right there. I think Germans do have a presence down in South America. Colombian. I'm not sure. Or the you-know-who-wishes do. But apparently they're talking about her and her back hair. All right. Their back hair right there. Do you know what your back looks like? Humanity. All right. I have dry skin. My back is normally ashy. All right. But it is what it is. Unless there's a lady to put something on my back. Pause. All right, but apparently they going in on her back hair. Well, that's definitely some incel shit. Do y'all know women at all? Y'all don't know women at all. All right, I've been trying to tell y'all, if you dating a Latina, all right, you're going to deal with body hair, okay? All right, you're going to deal with body hair. You better get it in your mind, in your skull, that this woman grows body hair like a chia. All right, women are hairless monkeys up into a point. Now, same thing with white women with fair hair. They got a lot of blonde hair all on their back and shit like this. This is why Zoe been trying to tell y'all ninjas.
Hair, makeup, esthetician, facials, vagina waxing, everything. That is all independent.
When you dealing with Latinas, they're going to have body hair, bro. It's going to be like a chia pet. All right. And the reason is a lot of us men, when you're young, you don't know what you're dealing with. You think women are perfect. When you get up imperfect, and when you get up on close on women, they got blemishes all over them, bruises all on their legs and knees. All right. That you don't see. All right. Body hair, all kind of shit. All right. Hair on their forearms and shit, especially Latinas. The only hairless monkeys out here really that be completely hairless are somewhat Korean or Chinese women. They Koreans specifically, they don't have a lot of body hair. All right. And typically not a lot of body odor and shit like that. But you're dealing with Latinas. All right. You young men, I'm going to tell you, bro, women are not perfect. Now, here's the thing. What happens is when women are outside in the world, they try to cure these imperfections or hide them. But of course, I'm a man. I live with several women in my life, so I know this. I've also been work closely with women, in a gym setting, also in basketball. I've seen women looking the worst, looking like hell. All right, but of course, when they date and you see them and they out here, you think that they're perfect and shit like this, but they're less than perfect. All right, they're less than perfect. And here's the thing. What Zoe said is this costs.
Hair, makeup, esthetician, facials, vagina waxing, everything. That is all independent.
In order to not get this, all right, we're schooling and educating men. All right, we're not here to shit on women. All right, this is an opportunity for me to school men, especially when you're dealing with Latinas. All right, or any of these races of women. Typically, Asian women tend to be the exception to this, but even so, sometimes to have this not be present, you're going to have to. This is a cost. So when men say women spend money on X, Y, and Z, they're like, well, they don't need their nails done. They don't need their hair done. They don't need all of these things. We don't need all these accessories. But you don't realize they be doing the Brazilian body wax. All right. They got to wax them chia pets now. They got to get it waxed up. Okay. Or you're going to complain, especially the Latinas that be growing hair all the way down. You can tell an expensive Latina, especially Middle Easterns women, bruh. Middle Eastern women. They in this conversation too heavy. All right. They are their chia pets too. Anytime you see a woman and she does have not any of these things, right? She don't have the extra hair growing here. She don't have sideburns. A little mustache. She don't have all this hair on the back of her neck. All right. And she don't got back hair. Brothers, that woman is an expensive woman. Okay. She gonna cost. Yep, unibrow. All right, bro, this is gonna cost you. This woman is highly maintained. And then you see them walking around and they be in they shorts and high heels. They be having they shit out. Dude, them legs freshly shaved. She done chia petted her back. Chia waxed her back. Okay? Now, Armenians for sure. Bruh, these women, these are the major expenses that they go through just so they don't have to hear you complain. Because if you roll this over and you see this, you're going to be like, oh, the humanity. Okay? But dudes think women naturally just out here, you know what I mean? Hairless, no blemishes. Dude, this is not the case. So you better realize that if you want a woman that's low maintenance, you're going to have to deal with a little back hair. You're going to have to deal with that shit. Or shave it yourself. You can shave it off if you want to not spare the cost, but don't talk shit on them. I've been saying this to young guys all the time. Ninjas over here be talking shit about women like this. I'll be like, bruh, y'all don't know women, bruh. Tell me you don't know women. All right, if you just want a low-maintenance woman, a plain Jane, like a stock factory issue white girl or something like that, you're going to have to deal with this, bro. This is what comes with it. Back hair, forearm hair, unibrow, sideburns. If you're dating a Latina and she doesn't have sideburns, just go ahead and add another zero to whatever her expectations are. So if she wanted $5 for cheap tacos, she now needs $50. She now needs $50. If she's cool with $50, you're good. If she needs $50, add a zero to it. It's going to take $500 to maintain this woman. All right, they need to get that, wax that mustache. They need to get them forearm hairs. They need, some of them do laser on their poochie. Some of them do shit on their poochie. All right, they get up in there. All right, if you don't want her to have an ant trail on her motherfucking navel, all right, and all on her lower back, bruh, her lower back. That shit gonna be an afro down there. I remember I was messing with this gordita. And she was a little torta. She made me a fantastic street taco meal. All right, but she had the little afro puff right out her booty cheeks right here. All right, it was a little poof. It was a little poof of hair. All right, she came out, and then I looked back there, and it was hairy back there, and she had a little something coming out her. It looked like a tail. All right, but Latinas grow hair. Middle Eastern women grow hair. So you better be ready for this. White girls grow hair too, but they typically, it's like fair hair. It's like very light looking, fluffy cotton candy. All right, especially if she's blonde. You really can't see it too much. You know, the only time you can really see it is if she's tan. If she tries to tan her skin, then you'll see a little hair like that. But they can't just shave it off because then it's growing back thicker. All right, but yeah, man, these ninjas don't know women. They don't need all that. They don't need to spend money. Okay. All right. When your girlfriend start looking like this, and guys, the bigger she is, the uglier this is gonna look. All right. So just understand, the bigger and normal she is, the uglier it's fixing to look. Indian women, oh my God. I messed with this Indian woman before. I messed with this Indian woman, and dude, let me tell you, man, she was good from about neck. She was good from here all the way to her calves. Now, when I got to the calves, it was like fully hair down there, right down from the calves all the way down to the toes. All right, Indian women, man. So they be growing hair like crazy too. So I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, ooh, she missed that part. She must have ran out of time and thought I wasn't going to see it. But she looked like a Sasquatch around the ankles. All right. I was like, boy, yep, the werewolf from London. All right. It was crazy. All right. Hungrier than the werewolf of London. So these women that have very long hair, very long black hair, and sometimes curly and thick hair, that is going to be a sign that that woman has body hair. All right, it's going to be body hair. Anytime their hair is thick, coarse, black, especially, well, except for Asians, all right, they're going to have body hair. All right, so be prepared for this. This is just, to me, incel content. All right, trying to talk about this. This is nothing. For a Latina, This is nothing. So men don't know women. They don't know women. I messed with this woman who was like kind of black Indian, and she had hairs on her nipples. All right, she had hairs on her nipples. I was like, oh, all right. Shout out to y'all. I'm just trying to teach y'all, you know, the realities here, so y'all not coming out here showing and exhibiting your lack of experience. All right, just tell me you're a virgin or an incel. Just tell me you never dealt with Latinas. All right, or any of this, man. Yeah, the blondes got the peach fuzz. Yep, and because you can't really see it. And then a blonde chick got peach fuzz and sideburns. And so you see those girls in California. I wish they all could be California girl. Go see them California girls. And you'd be like, oh, Kaylee, flat back heaven. You'd be like, Walk up to one of them California girls. You know, with the blonde hair, you know, the baby blonde hairs up in here, and they got the little freckles from the sun, and they got the blue eyes. Go up to them bitches and walk up and stand next to them and let the sun hit them just right. You'll see a whole beard on their face. You'll see a beard. It'll be a peach fuzz beard. It'll be blonde. All right. You'll look and you'll be like, hold up. You'll be like, turn right here, just like this. And she'll look like a hairless monkey. All right. But if the sun catch it just right, you'll see a beard and a mustache, a blonde one, a little peach fuzz. And you'll be like, and then their whole body will have peach fuzz on it. All right. But so, you know, a lot of guys don't have experience with this. All right. But yeah, man, it'd be like, oh, she'll have peach fuzz everywhere. All right. Until she grows a little older and she knows how to get rid of that shit, which does imply, again, there is a pressure and an expense to get rid of it. And then you guys, you know, men are simple. Men are simple. We walk out the house. You know what I mean? We do our armpits and shit. Ready. And then the women are doing this and doing that. You're like, what the hell is she doing? All right. They are quite complex, because then what'll happen is if they have these things, you'll complain. You'll complain about it. Shout out to the California girls. But yeah, they'll have a peach fuzz mustache and a beard. And they can't just chop it off because it's going to grow in like Hulk Hogan. All right. Let me see here. Because if they just shave it off, all right, then your blonde chick be looking like this next week. All right. That's how they be looking. Hulk Hogan in the face. All right. Anyway, watch out for that. Shout out to the ladies, man. The natural ladies out here. You make me feel like a natural woman. He says, Rachel, you see the red-haired ones. Yeah, the redheads have the same thing. The redheads, why am I talking about this? The redheads have fair hair, all right? So what you'll see normally of a redhead, once you get her home, you're going to be astonished. Any fair or red hair women, and I definitely, guys, I have experience with all women. I've been around the world, and all right, my curiosity is not here anymore. I've pretty much got what I've wanted out of women. But redheads, when they go outside, they look a certain way. And when they go back home and they put all of their makeup removal on and they go to sleep, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be astonished. This woman will look like a baby bird in the morning, or she'll look like she caught the flu or is very sick. All right, because what's happening with the redhead is that their hair is so either, you know, if they're a natural redhead, their hair on their body matches. So they'll have light eyelashes, light eyebrows. Many of their times their eyebrows don't grow fully in, or it's very fair. So what they've done is they've drawn in or colored in some eyebrows. They've used dark mascara to mask the light eyelashes. Okay, so you don't know this. All right. And blonde women are similar to this if they're real blonde. And then what'll happen is they'll wake up and you'll be like, whoa, this woman will look like she has a fever of 103. You're like, baby, you okay? You sick? Are you sick? Yes. And you'll be like, are you okay? Yes, they are okay. But they'll look like a baby bird. And then and then you'll be absolutely flabbergasted and shocked. All right. This is typically what redheads wake up looking like right there. No eyelashes. None. Even though there's there. All right. No, there will be not. You won't see them. You won't see an eyelash. You won't see an eyebrow or nothing. All right. All you're going to see is pink lips. All right. Hope you're seeing the right pink lips. So don't be, and you're going to see blue veins everywhere. It's going to be translucent. Blue veins. You're going to realize that in school, when they told you blood is blue before it hits oxygen, blood is blue before it hits oxygen. Redheads are literally the mannequin for you to discover this. It's one of the most erotic things. You see red hair down here and blue veins in their titties. You're like, hallelujah. Freckles on their chest. Hallelujah. 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 Pink nipples. You're like, this is fantastic. It is definitely an aphrodisiac, especially with your black skin pressed against it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. Anyway. All right. You're like, damn, this is great. Boy, I've never even realized that if I looked at this, I will have roar in 3 seconds. All right. It's going to be great. All right. You see all of this. You ain't going to be prepared for it. I think redheads represent only 3% of the population in the world. All right. You'll be booking a flight to Ireland ASAPidly. You'll be booking a flight to Ireland. And then all the black people will be like, why are you going to Ireland? I love redheads. I love redheads. All right. This is what you'll be doing here. I got to find the adult women here. All right. Then I'll see y'all ninjas pulling up to Ireland like this. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes, indeed. You're going to roar like crazy. You get you a redhead. All right. It's going to be crazy. Shout out to the redheads here. Great. All right. Anyway, let's see if there's any more contributors to this comedy show. And the freckles, you'll be like, connect the dot. Roar. You'll be connecting the dot. All right. Anyway, this is too much. Scotland. LLQC coach, he says, I'm going to piss the game guys off by saying this. If he gives bread, she gives head. All right. If he gives bread, she gives head. And that's kind of how it's been working. The oldest profession. Yes, indeed. All right. If you give bread, she gives head. Did I get Justin B? Shout out to you. Congratulations for hitting those 6 figures. I did touch on that earlier in the show. And thank you for the contributions. This has been great. This has been great. Scottish chicks, Ireland. Love it, man. Love it. I love the variety of women. I don't know why some people don't like variety. They be like, you guys stay with the same type of woman every time. I'm like, I got to have variety. I want a different type. All right. That's why I be at the JUCO. All right. That's why I be at the JUCO. I want a different type. I'll be like, let me try. I've been like Baskin and Robbins at the JUCO. All right, cool. All right. Let me see what we want today. Mm-hmm. There we go, right there. Yeah. All right. I just want a variety. All right. That's why I be traveling. I don't want the same girl every night. I've been there, done that. All right. I was married for almost 10 years. Same woman every night. No, thank you. All right. This is not it. Okay. It is not it. The same woman every night. Now, you know, if I could get a nice rotation, I can have 3 different women. You know what I mean? And be like satisfied. All right. As long as I don't have the same piece of pussy every night. I can't do that. I can't even get up. You know what I mean? I need a mix. I need a variety pack. All right. I don't need the same bitch. My pack need to look like Starburst. All right. A different flavor all the way down. I can't have all red. I'm going to get tired of it. 31 flavors. All right. Let me see what you got. Can I get a sample of that? Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. All right. Fuck that. I'll have that next week. All right. Give me the Rocky Road. I like to get my flavors mixed. It's Straggle and Sniggle Theater.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Straggle and Sniggle Theater. All right, what do we got first? We have, it looks like a Latino or a Ling. I can't really tell, but as you guys know, they be choosing out here. So she choosing.
Are we really friends, or are you gonna get mad at me for calling you up when I need dick? Because I feel like that's what friends are for. And if you don't want to do that, then I'll find another friend that would be down. Are we really friends, or are you gonna get mad at me for calling you up when I need dick?
All right, does she have an OnlyFans? This is typically some OnlyFans type shit right here. And of course, oh my goodness. All right, these are the type of women that blue ball you. All right, these definitely the blue ballers of the world here. Let me go ahead and see if she got an OnlyFans. Yeah, she does. All right, she does have an OnlyFans. But this is typically what OnlyFans chick look like. She says, this is your favorite 19-year-old sleut. All right, yes, indeed. 19, you say. All right. But she's asking something that we've been telling you, not a surprise here, that they definitely do like to have special friends.
I just wanted to say...
Yes.
Thanks. I'm glad you came along. Partner, I want to sing a song just for you. 'Cause you're my special friend. Special friend. You're my special friend.
Okay, all right. You're my special friend. All right. These are the type of shits that, you know, them young girls don't want you. Yes, these bops will come lay down for you. 19. Just right. All right, here we go.
Because I feel like that's what friends are for. And if you don't want to do that, then I'll find another friend that would be down.
Yep, just like that, guys. All right. All right, these women choosing. No, not these hoes. They giving big time bait. Right, brand new Vogues. Like I said before, I ain't tripping. Told myself I need to stop bullshitting. Shout out to Todd Shaw, Too Short in the building. We got Game Ninjas. Look at that. All right, Mac Puerto Rican Game Ninja with a snow bunny. All right, look at that right there.
Where the white women at?
All right, you let me know. Rachel Rizz here on Mac Puerto Rican. We call them Radames, and the Finnish snow bunny, or the Norwegian snow bunny here.
What's your name?
Hedda.
Huh?
Hedda.
Hedda.
Yeah.
Okay, where you from?
Norway.
Norwegian.
Okay, I would love to, you know, take you out though.
You should.
I should?
Yeah.
Can I get a kiss?
No.
On the cheek. How you think our kids will look?
Our kids?
Yeah.
It would look perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
they would.
Right?
Because
Yeah.
you were, you know, really good looking, and I would, you know, love to, you know, take you out.
No.
Probably not.
Yeah. So, okay, y'all are a thing already.
We are a thing.
Oh, no.
Okay, you got you one,
We
brother.
are married.
You're married?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. All right, look at this. This is just...
Wait a minute. Who are you?
All right. By the way, this is the type of woman, she's going to look like a baby bird in the morning. She's going to look crazy, all right? That little mascara and those fair hair eyebrows that you barely can see, that's why her forehead looks so big, all right? She got the Hulkamania shit going on already, all right? Yeah, she's going to look a little different in the morning, but she's not a bad-looking I love Norwegian. I love Viking broads. All right, but what happened here, brother? This is crazy right here.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
What happened, sir? We got a malfunction here. You thought you had the game. All right. You thought you had the Rizz. You thought you was going. All right. He was already ready to take her back to the crib. Oh, no. This is terrible. Let's see right now the switch up.
Can I give you one more kiss?
No. It was just that one.
Just one last one.
Right? It was just that one.
You kiss this guy?
No, he kissed me on the cheek.
Wait, are y'all really married?
Yeah.
Why did you let me kiss you?
On the cheek?
Oh no.
I get.
Norwegian. That means hey, how you doing?
Oh, really?
Oh, Norwegian. Viking ninja talking. Oh, in Norway, it means how you're doing. Kiss on the cheek. Well, that's kind of true. You know, when I was in Europe, all right, all the girls that I met, we did kiss on the cheek. It was the whole, you know what I mean, type shit. That is true, but I suppose I'm going to be in Norway here in June, so I'm going to kiss a lot of these blondies, all right? I'm going to be out here in these blondie streets, okay?
Can I tell you how you doing again?
No.
Oh, okay, my bad.
All right, can I tell you again? Oh, no. Man, this is cold work out here, so as we said, these are not, these are our girls. The Y is silent. The Y is silent. This is something here. Okay, so be careful out here. You thought you had one until the Viking brawl right here. Look at him. He had the confidence then. All right, she was letting you, you know, you can feel her. You know, she got the titty all up on you. All right, you got the titty all up on you. You good. All right, you think you about to get one, and she got a whole husband here.
H-E-D-D-A.
Head up.
Yeah.
Okay, where you from?
Norway.
Norway. All right, here we go.
I know.
Hey, let me tell you about Swedish women, not Swedish women, Scandinavian women, and European women in general. Let me tell you, because I know people don't realize I live with two women from Sweden, all right, for about a year and a half or 2 years, all right, but I didn't live with them the same time. I lived with one Swedish woman, then dude, from what I know of European women, because I also dated a woman from Belgium, I actually recruited heavily in the European areas. I visited Europe, northern, western, and eastern Europe, and let me tell you, dude, they are freaks. They are not like American women when it comes to sex or casual sex. And if you look up Iceland and their STD rates, it's pretty high, but that's not a surprise for an island that is pretty much located out there. It's not really inland, but they do, and casual sex is a thing. All right. They've been casually doing sex for a long time. In fact, Alan Roger Curry kind of exposed during the Victorian age, women were the aggressors during sex. All right. Now, I don't know this to be true, but this is something that he he studied and reported, that women were the aggressors during sex and men were somewhat trying to temper women's aggression during sex. Okay. So not during sex, but, you know, women were the ones out there choosing and looking and, you know, and the English and the wetlands of England and the farm area. It was the women going after the dudes that were they were just hot in the pussy. All right. They was just hot in the pussy. So women have always been hot in the hot pocket. All right. Especially the European woman. So this is definitely the case. Doesn't mean they all cheat, but they just have a different approach to casual sex. They have a different approach to casual sex. This is why many of the fairy tales and many of the stories of what we learn about women, it comes from this. It comes from this. All right. European women into America. All of our shit in the Victoria, this is all coming from Europe. All right. It is not even representative of how African women grow up at all. All right. So how we view women and how they're supposed to be chaste and how they're supposed to do this and do that, how they're supposed to come from the Bible and help meets. This is all European centric, Eurocentric. Okay. And how the men tried to tamper down the sexual appetite of women. It's mostly European women that they come from, especially these women from the upper Scandinavian Viking broads. And then when you even include some of these women are very close to, especially Finland, Russia. Okay. Russian women and these women are very similar in many, many ways because they are very close geographically. All right. But yes, they have been definitely open relationships, poly, casual sex. European women, especially those women in the Viking areas for sure. Belgium, Denmark, Finland, Norway, and stuff like that. All right, so this is all European-centric stuff. And when you're dealing with them, you better be ready because they can do some swinger or some casual shit on you. And, dude, they don't care. They do not care, dude. They will have sex with you and they will treat you like the dude. They'll just bounce and be like, all right, cool, thank you. All right, thank you. And then they'll bounce off. And you'll be like, oh, baby. German women, too. German women, similar. All right, some of them fall in love, head over heels, and they'll claim you. All right, but them big-ass Helgas over there will fuck you and death by snoozu and not give a fuck the next day. All right, and they'll have you hurting. They'll have your heart hurting. But German woman, Helga, Broomhilda, yes, they would. So watch out for that. Okay, most of y'all ain't ready for that. Most of y'all booking a flight right now. you booking a flight right now, but this is definitely a stereotype. But it is true that casual sex doesn't mean as much to them as American women, especially the cock carousel. They don't care about shit like that. And the dudes are very, as much as they are looking aggressive and, brolic human beings, they're very, especially in today's world, they're very feminine. They have a feminine orientation, especially, you think about Englishmen. All right, they walk like this. Tweet, 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 tweet. All right, they're strong. They can pick up a keg, but they're not territorial with their women. They're not like, you got to stay away from my woman. They are, but they aren't. They'll be like, if their woman wants to go, they're like, I got millions of bitches like this, bro. All right, going over there. I can get another one. We can get a lot of these Stephen Daughters and all of these guys. There's plenty of them here. They don't fear loss like that. And some of them yeah. It's like that. Especially if you compare that region to America. It's night and day. Night and day when it comes to those type of women. Now, if it's time, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Anyway, where we at? Ninjas are booking a flight to Norway right now to get them a Norwegian flatback. I'll get her neck. Straggle Sniggle Theater goes on. We have this here, a viral video of women and baby hair. Some of you guys don't know. I'm here to school you on the maintenance of women. Women will find a way to spend money on maintenance. This is what they do. You better be prepared for it. Some women are very basic at it. Plain Jane women from Cheyenne, Wyoming. And then there's this, Atlanta, Georgia. All right. There is levels to this shit. Even to the point, yes, baby hair is a sticker. Baby hair is a sticker. Their maintenance routines are something to behold, and some women go over and beyond. There's not much real hair here, all right? She don't have much. That little poof on the back, white people, that is not real hair in the back. Some people will be like, she is so beautiful, and she is beautiful. She's a good-looking woman. But, yeah, there's not much natural going on these days. This baby hair thing is really just not my cup of tea at all. But, listen, ladies, you do you. I mean, and if you're dating younger women, you almost have to kind of deal with this in their fashion routines and it is what it is. And that's even a dumb place to put it. But of course, light-skinned women, Viking women, they do have a hairline issue, which I always think is comical when women talk about men's hairlines. And they already balding by 27. All right. As you can see here, she don't have her hairline is not aggressive at all. Or her hairline is pulled all the way back. So even this Viking woman right here. All right, so they tend to have hairline issues as well. Like men, they have hairline issues as well, and much of it they can mask and hide with wigs and baby hairs and all of these things right here. But their hairlines are faulty as well, especially if they are dealing with a lot of braids. He said men never asked for this. Yeah, well, yes, this is true. One thing about women's beauty, it is not really what men ask for. Okay. All right, so men will say, well, we don't want you to do this. We don't want you to do that. It has nothing really to do with you. It has to do with them, styles, other women, fashion sense for that time period. This is definitely something that people will remember that they did in the year 2020. But if you look at fashion and beauty trends from women, take the decades, Afro puffs all the way down to perms, all right, straightening their hair. hair pieces, wigs. It has nothing to really do with men. It's just what women do to feel fashionable and in times. So it does have to do with men, but it doesn't at the same time. All right. It's just the current phase. You will find that a lot of these people get their fashion sense from Glorilla, all right, strippers, Sexy Red. It is what it is. They're in competition. So they're also trying to stay up with the times even amongst themselves. So it does have to do with men, but it doesn't. So they're not really doing this for men per se. All right. But yeah, that's insane right there. All right. But it is what it is. It's out of my head. And once you guys realize that, you know, what they're marketed to, yeah, and what they see on Instagram all day. If you ever want to do this, I've suggested this as a man. If you ever want to know and get inside the mind of a woman, you basically go to a woman that you like, your girlfriend, your wife, or any of these things. And this is real game. This is what you do. You create an Instagram account. Then you go to your girlfriend, your wife, the girlfriend that you have a crush on, her interest. Go take her Instagram and mimic it, copy it. Go to her, what she's following. Go to what she's following. Follow every single account. And for 2 weeks, just scroll Instagram like she's scrolling Instagram. Okay? Make a whole new account. Don't fuck up your account. Just scroll your Instagram like you're her. Ninja, the shit you're gonna see is gonna be like you're gonna be like, wow. All right. Now you're not gonna see a lot of dudes and naked dudes and niggas with their shirt off. You'll see them. They'll be there. It won't be prominently featured. You're gonna see Fashion Nova. You're gonna see wig, weave, nails, the nail content. Okay. The nail content alone is going to be mind blowing. I dated a nail tech chick and she was crazy. Like people would fly into her. All right. And she was very good. All right. And you're going to see a lot of this content right here. All right. So I got this product right here, Stanley. And they'll do their nails like this. All right. You're going to be like, oh my God. Everything is buy, sell. Nail features, little shit, trinkets and jewelry and little trinkets. Wig install. Right? Temu. TikTok shop. And then a few niggas with their chest out giving inspirational talk. A couple of simps. That Puerto Rican simp, Derek Jackson. Then some, oh man, it's going to be nuts. You're going to be like, God dang, man, I can't do it. And then DMs filled up with NBA basketball players. All right, it's just what it is. Anyway, ladies, am I right? I'm right. So they're just constantly selling to them. And it's going to be bizarre. You're going to be like, this is Bizarro World. All right, we got this woman out here. I guess this is the next one here. Is this the next one? Yeah, that's the next one.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Yep, some girl bosses. Yes, girl bosses. Bitches telling them how to start a business. How to start a business as a nail tech. All right, just absolutely crazy. You're going to be like, this is nuts. None of the shit that we talk about comes across their screen. Every now and then it does, and they'll get in the comment section and rage out. All right, anyway, let me see if there's any contributors. The evening show is moving along. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's see what we got. All right, yep, the masks, face masks, spa treatments. You're going to be like, this is crazy. All right, and this is what they want in life. It's what they want. And shout out to our brother. It is John Doherty says, fact CGA. I have a high yellow black Puerto Rican coworker. If she doesn't draw her eyebrows in with black wax pen thingy, it appears as if she has no eyebrows. She does have them, but they're almost skin color. He says, blew my mind when she showed me. Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%, man. You know, I know my women. So I'm trying to always tell men, there's women that have eyebrows that they're not her real eyebrows. Their eyebrows grow from here. And shout out to my eyebrows and my Ling eyebrow lady. All right, because I have bushy eyebrows. If you see my son and my dad, all right, niggas got the whole grumpy L men. But women's eyebrows, some women's eyebrows go from here to here. Right here. Some of them shave it off. All right. Some of them shave their eyebrow off. All right. But their eyebrows go from here to about right here. The rest from here to here is drawn on. So they'll take a mascara pen, they'll darken that up. They might darken all this shit up, and then they'll take the rest in the morning and paint a Nike swoosh just like that. Just like that. And you'll come out. And this is where I tell guys all the time, if you don't know this, because you'll come out and this woman will do this and you'll be like, you're so beautiful. You're so gorgeous. Oh my. If you seen her in the morning before she pulled that shit off, you would not even be, you wouldn't say any of this. All right. You wouldn't say any of this. This is nuts, man. All right. It's nuts. But when you see it, you'll know it and you'll understand it. All right. Some women have levels to it too. Some women have levels to it. You're so gorgeous. Oh God. And she knows that you crazy because she didn't put on her eyelash shit right here. You know, her mascara, painted her shit on. You know what I mean? Put her pot and get her shit. She done did all that shit. You're so gorgeous. You got natural beauty. It's not natural. You know what a natural woman looks like? You don't know. Shout out to John D in the building here. It's so natural. You're a natural beauty. You're a goddess. And she done drew all over her face. All right, hold on for a second. She done drew all over her face in the morning like this. Okay? And she like, man, you niggas don't know nothing. All right? This how she came out. All right? And then you're like, you're such a natural beauty. You're gorgeous. Oh, my God. All right, I would marry you right now. You're so beautiful in the face. Oh, my God. Your pictures are so natural. Oh, my. All right. That's how she looked out. Ladies, you know I'm lying.
That's you.
Ladies, you know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. All right. Anyway, shout out to Sting. All right, there. Shout out to Sting. You're so gorgeous and natural. All right. If she didn't sit a bit, ladies, tell these dudes the tricks you. I might have to do a show of all the tricks that women do to manipulate your goofy, underdeveloped mind. The mind of men. All right. And then you don't even know. They just running a rigged game on y'all. And I knew this because you know how I found out is I got into hobby photography. All right. Shout out to the Mono Mayhem ninjas back in the day. Press 1 in the chat if you were back in the day of digital SLR. All right. That was a fun time. All right. When digital SLRs came out and them bodies was $3,000, $4,000, lenses $1,500. All right. You was all that B&H video. Okay, you was all at every camera store, and it turned the game around. This is what turned the game around for what you see now as social media and Instagram. All right, but what you would do is the digital SLR came out, and before that, you just had a SLR, which was you needed film. All right, you needed film. But now what happened was you could just get an SD card, and you needed you could get a camera, and you was the man, bruh. You was the man. You make you a Model Mayhem account, and you can get bitches to come over and take clothes. They take their clothes off. It was some fantastic shit. All right. You'd be like, I'm a photographer. Get you a Nikon D90. Get you a Canon. And you had bitches getting naked right in front of your camera. All right. Get you a little light set. You'd be like, all right, let me get my light. Let me get my light. All right. Let me change my goddamn exposure. All right. Let me change my shit. All right. So here we go. Yeah, bitch. All right, get in front of the camera. Here we go right here. All right. All right. Then what a days, bruh. You should see my Model Mayhem portfolio. I can't show it on the internet. All right, but I got a Model Mayhem portfolio. I used to take pictures of girls, you know, women getting their model portfolio going. And I learned a lot about women. They always broke as fuck. They never had no money. All right, but they will give you a special set. They'd be like, take some pictures for me, and I'll give you a private set. And they'll give you a little private set. They be out there with their titties out and all that shit. But yep. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. Those were the days. You just had to have a camera. All right. Now, that led to, you know what killed that? Smartphone. Smartphone killed that business. The smartphone. Once women got their hands on this, they no longer needed you as a photographer. So I do all the photography tricks, natural lighting, taking advantage of natural light, window light, making sure you're taking pictures if the sun is out, making sure the sun is illuminating their face so you can take advantage of that natural light, artificial light. Okay, using artificial light to enhance and remove blemishes. And then you had Gaussian blur on Photoshop. Gaussian blur. So I knew women were imperfect. I had beautiful women in front of us show up, no hair, no makeup done. Then they put their hair and their makeup done. Some women are glam. They were extremely beautiful. Then when you got home, you had to get on that Photoshop. Gaussian blur, all of they shit out. Blemishes. And a lot of these women super duper insecure. Insecure. Some of the most insecure people that you will ever meet are women that you constitute as beautiful. All right, so they were always worried about their little insecurities here. One titty is lower than the other. It looks like I got this. And can you blur that out? Can you change this? Can you put the legs in? All right. Hit them with that Gaussian blur on Photoshop. Bitch look perfect. Then you put them up on the screen. They be like, oh, God, she's hot. I just saw this woman. She's good looking, but she wasn't perfect. All right. By no stretch of the imaginary. All right, but stretch of the imagination. She was not perfect. All right. I still would have smashed, but you don't realize how much trickery you're dealing with now with this phone and the filters and how women use light. They'll get in front of the window. They'll get in front of the window at the right time of the day, and they'll put that phone up, snap a picture, and they be like, and you'd be like, oh my God. And that was just natural light. If they took that same picture in the bathroom, if they took that same picture in the bathroom, they would look ridiculous. It wouldn't even look the same. All right. But they got in front of that window to tease y'all monkey ass. And then they threw some blur on it and changed this and Gaussian blurred that. Yep. The golden hour. I could tell we got photographers in here. Lightroom, golden hour. That is going to be right as the sun sets, or if you're in the morning, right as the sun rises. You want to lead that high noon away. All right. Anybody taking pictures in high noon when the sun's above your head, going to create more shadows that you're going to have to work on in Photoshop after the shoot. So, woo-wee. It's a whole levels to this shit. But women use a lot of manipulation and tricks and deception to make them look a certain way. Now, the ladies, I'm going to tell you, just telling the men, you guys don't realize that this preys onto men's desire for women. So women who do this, and they do this in videos, they'll go at golden hour, they'll record themselves, they'll do their video, then they'll take a video of the sunset later. What they'll do is they'll take these images or they take these videos and they're not saying anything. All right, they're just doing the whole siren thing. Oh, I'm beautiful, doing my hair. They'll do this and do that. They might lip sync maybe. But when you realize that this is what men fall in love with, then this is why you find out men don't like women. Okay? This is when you find out why men don't like women. Because, and ladies, listen up. Men fall in love visually. We don't have to hear a word. So much of what they fall in love with or are intrigued by is you not talking. Okay?
Silence, you fool.
So dating apps, Instagram, TikTok. What you don't realize is that the man is already intrigued by you and very interested sexually and in other ways, and you haven't even said a fucking word. All of the videos you send them, you're doing like this for 2 or 3 seconds, and he just replaying that, not talking, no opinion, No boss babe, no strong and independent, no degree, no goals, no ambition, nothing. So you're promoting constantly the visual representation of yourself, but what you have to understand is you're not talking. You're not expressing any ideas. Now, when you get around a man and you start talking, expressing ideas, talking about boss babe shit, now all of a sudden we're disinterested. We're like, what the fuck is wrong with her, bro? This bitch annoying. And what the fuck she talking about, man? Her degree. Who cares? Why? Because you sold image, and now we get to hear you motherfucking talk, and we are flabbergasted. We fell in love with a deaf mute. And what she gonna do, and where she gonna go, and she talk about how she used to fuck in her early 19s and 20s. We gonna be like, oh my God, would you shut up? All right.
Shut your bitch ass up.
We tired of hearing you. What the fuck? Why do you talk so much? You didn't advertise that you talk so goddamn much. And why you got so many damn opinions? Like, shut the fuck up. And it's your fault. Don't blame men for this. We literally just want the visual representation of what you sold. We want the other shit sold separately. Go take that somewhere else. As we say, as just the guy says, be seen, not heard. Be seen, not heard. We don't want to hear you. We just want to see you. They start talking, you like turned off. Like, what the fuck? Just shut up. Just sit over there. Be quiet. Be seen, not heard. We don't care about what the fuck you got to say. What the hell? Turn this bitch off. Take her battery out. But the reason is a lot of the ladies, you do this to yourself. So don't blame men for this. We're visual creatures. We don't care about auditory, really about, you know, scent and all of this shit. We just want the look. That's all. Don't blame us for this. This is what you sold to us. Just sit there like a deaf mute. All right, for all we care, we'll be happy as a motherfucker. All right, anyway. Because what they be saying, don't they start talking and you be like, shut up. Guys, press 1 in the chat for the ladies that are here. Don't when they start talking, you be like, if you don't be the fuck quiet, like you wasting your breath. Especially when you disagree with them, you like, shut up. Be quiet. And this is not misogynist. It's just a fact. You sold visual. Now you talking. Be quiet. Why are you talking so much? It's just be motor mouth. If you don't be quiet. All right, goodness.
Silence, you fool.
You don't want to hear all this. We're not interested. Now, if you have a nice, sexy voice, do that shit. Play Minnie Mouse. But for the most part, play Minnie Mouse. We don't want to hear this shit. If we want to go talk to somebody, we'll hang out with a dude. We ain't going to listen to no damn women. I didn't come here to listen to your political ideas. All right, they're already mad at me, so I better move on. I'm just trying to help the world. I'm just sent here to heal the world. I'm here to say things that men want to say. They just don't know how to say it. And don't take it personal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you the reality. Kevin G is your favorite Kenyan American as a nasty ninja who loves to defile a Ku Klux Keisha's rectal canal. All right, wowzers. All right, that's it.
Oh, the humanity.
You're absolutely right about gingers. My skeet per second is 2.89 seconds more intense with redheads than big booty Keishas. He says they're the absolute cream of the crop. Where the white women at?
Where the white women at?
All right, that's indeed. Redheads, they're very, very the aphrodisiac. All right, a lot of dudes will be like, pasty pale. All right, pasty pale is a dream for a lot of people. All right, and it's going to be a roar from down low. Some people don't have that, but redheads are definitely like that. They're not great to look at after you nut, though. They kind of look sick in the morning. So you got to get over that. All right. Kevin G out here violating. All All right, we're almost done with this segment here. I know. This is a family show, by the way. Hit the like button. So if you brought your kids to the show, they can now listen. Shout out to our brother here. It is Jeff, the producer. Thank you for checking in again. You never say anything, but it's all good. You don't. Just the contribution alone. Fire in the crotch. The redheads. Fire in the crotch. When I moved to Thousand Oaks, all right, when I first left Hawthorne, California, shout out to everybody in Hawthorne in the South Bay, Inglewood, up to no good. And my mother moved me out to the suburbs in the middle of my high school years. I've been around white people, but it was different going out to the Conejo Valley, the Las Virgenes Valley, Westlake Village, Agora Hills. A lot of who wishes out there.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
The first 3 women that was after me, they were all redheads. I kid you not. All right? I kid you not. Like, I showed up on campus, and dude, the first 3 women that was coming after me, it was like my junior year. Okay, my junior year. They came after, there was 3 redheads, and they were all different redheads. One was a ginger, like a redhead, strong, and I think they were all who-ish. All right, looking back now. No, one was from London redhead girl. Then there was like an orange hair redhead, and one was like a strawberry shortcake looking redhead. They were all, and they was all right from the rip. And it was like, damn. I was like, I never knew nothing about redheads. Redheads to me were like a anomaly. It was like what is this redhead shit? Redheads to us back then were like, in cartoons, like Get Away, the weird redhead girl. All right, but yes, indeed. 100%. There was 3 redhead chicks putting pressure on me right from like week 1. I was like, wow. And I started looking up fetishes. Back in the day, we didn't have the internet back then. So you had to go to a store and find blacks on redheads. And they are fantastic. All right. Once I went red, I never went back. Let's see here. Last one, and it is our brother KP. He says, Guru, morning stream was fire. He says, take my money for the golden game you put us on. Gonna intern real soon and send more. He says, Coach, you will never turn me into a feet connoisseur. But lately, I am more sensitive to attractive black women, the Afro-Latinas. I blame you. He says, besides with tits, he says, you can do more and much more from sandwich to milk play. Oh my goodness, this show is going crazy here, all right?
Oh, the humanity.
He says, what else can you do with feet except suck toes and rub? Explain me and educate me, your favorite Gen Z. I typically know younger dudes and feet, they don't get feet.
We're just looking at the booty. We're looking at the breast. We're looking at her neck. We're looking at her feet.
Yeah.
We're looking at her
No, I ain't looking at no feet. Man, ain't nobody looking at no feet.
You don't looking at feet?
All right.
I'm looking at feet.
Younger dudes, they don't got the feet thing yet. You know what I mean? I find that dudes that are into like feet, it's not a sickness, but some dudes are sick with it. It's an older dude. Older dudes are typically into it. Now, let me just say this. A lot of people will think it's a weird thing. And of course, anything on the fetish side is weird. But women do spend a lot of time on their feet, right? They go to get pedicures. They paint their nails. Sometimes they adorn their ankles with, tennis bracelets, and they put jewelry. They do a lot. They do toe rings and shit like this. Not only that, they tend to wear open toe shoes, right? So they spend a lot of time displaying their feet. What'll happen is men will become accustomed to using that to look at as a thing. All right. Matter of fact, Glorilla was just talking about it not too long ago. All right. Shout out to Glorilla. She was just on that. What's the guy's name? Kai Cenat with her feet out. All right. She was just on Kai Cenat. But older dudes, you're going to see older dudes definitely going to be on some feet shit. All right. They are. Younger dudes, not so much. Not so much. But yeah, it's going to be older dudes. And one thing you don't realize that if you have a woman ankles to ears, one thing is you're going to see them feet up in the air. All right. So it's one of those things that is going to be it. Feet, toes, 10 toes up. All right. It's going to be part of the sex. It's going to be part of it. So you're going to start seeing them feet all up in the air and feet dangling. It's a thing. All right, ninjas are nasty.
We just looking at the booty. We looking at the breast. We looking at her neck. We looking at her feet. We looking at her.
Nah, I ain't looking at no feet. Nah, ain't nobody looking at no feet.
You don't looking at feet? I'm looking at feet.
If a woman has messed up feet, it's a turn off to me. All right, I'ma still finish. I can still finish the job, but it's gonna be a turn off. All right, but they got chubby, chicklet toes, fat little sausage toes, flat feet. Nah, that's gonna be no bueno. No bueno at all. All right, it's gonna be nah. I mean, it's like, but it's something that they can control, and it's not like they can control it. All right, anyway. All right, we got a simp ass ninja in here. Rihanna Stone. Bye-bye. All right. Is he a content creator? Nice to see you. All right. Simp ass nigga. I put your ass was on video yesterday with a whole nigga trying to get up in here telling me a dude in a wheelchair get bitches. What is this nigga doing? All right. Are you still relevant in this space? Bye-bye. Rihanna Stone. All right. All right. What is these? Mitch alert in the building. Bye-bye, nigga. You still ain't relevant after 10 years of YouTube. Bye-bye. You wish you could be me. Get the fuck out of here. All right, anyway, let's get on to the next one. And it's an evil world we live in. All right, it's an evil world we live in here. Let's go.
It's an evil world we live in.
All right, it's an evil world we live in right here. We got Asian women talking about why they don't want to get married. Okay, here we go right here. Asian women talking about why they don't want to get married. Do you see getting married in the future?
結婚願望ありますか？ないです。どうして結婚願望ないんですか？一生一人でいいかなって。どうして一生一人でいいかなって思うんですか？やっぱ自由度が増えるし、お金を相手に使わなくても。自分のためにお金全部使えるぞってことですか？はい、そうです。結婚願望はありますか？あります。どうしてですか？今付き合って。
All right, as you guys know that worldwide the birth rate is declining, especially in Asian nations. So the first one said, nah, bruh. All right, I ain't trying to get married here. I know you didn't understand it. She doesn't want to get married. And as you know, they also have a problem with teeth over there. So typically Asian women are going to hide their mouth. All right. So when you see Asian women doing this, it's because they definitely have an insecurity in relationship to their teeth. All right. That's definitely the case there. And they typically don't have good access to braces and shit like this. Essentially what'll happen is it'll look like this. All right. And so when you see her covering her mouth, it not just it covers the identity, she doesn't want to show her fucking teeth, and it looks like this. All right, so let's go back to her real quick and talk about what she's saying. She says she don't want to get married. All right, here we go. All right, why not? She doesn't want to get married. I'm sure I'll be happy being single. She wants to be single for life. All right, what do you think about me? It gives me freedom. All right, she want to be in these streets right here. That's what she said. All right, she want to be in these streets. All right, now the second one says right here, do you want to get married? She says yes. All right, she wants to get married right there. You can see the tooth all up in her skull right there. Here it is right there. You see her teeth are fucked up too a little bit. Not that bad. You see her cover her mouth? That's very common there of what you're going to deal with Asian women. They going to cover their mouth a lot with the insecurity. She says, I'll tell my future husband to earn more money. Damn, bruh.
I got money.
All right, earn more money. All right, earn more money. So there it is right there. Yes, I'm going to get married and go get some more money. Make more money, darling.
I got money.
All right, make more money. Go get some money. Yep, and there she is about to cover her mouth again. Does she desire to get married? Okay, yes, what did she say? Shoo, shoo. Shoo, shoo. All right, she wants to fall in love. Shout out to her right there. All right, she love how her parents are married out there. All right, she wants to be married and have a family like her parents. Congratulations right there. All right, there it is. These little flatback lean. Oh, wait. She don't want to get married now. All right. She's not going to be happy if there's no. Oh, wow. So she basically said, I ain't going to be happy if there's no money.
I got money.
Essentially, that's what she said right there. All right. No money, no honey. All right. There she. Wow. Hey, man, you're not going to escape this, guys. You broke ninjas. You broke ninjas. You're not escaping the whole let's fall in love without money. All right, so they definitely want the bag. Even that little plain Jane Ling there is like, you better bring some money. All right, you guys not getting away from it, you cheapos. You cheapos. Here we go right here. We have another woman out here. I've seen this woman before. All right, or have I been with a woman like this before? She looks very familiar. All right, let me see what we got right here. What is it doing right here? It's me. I can't even. She has a podcast. All right. So let's skip all of that. Let's see what this woman has to do and say about her dating experience, about casually hooking up with someone and it going left. Okay. So let's hear it here.
I had like one guy that I was going to maybe safe casual with. And I was like, I'm not going to date him seriously because he's not passionate or ambitious or interesting. So obviously, yeah. But I was like, okay, maybe we could like hang for a little bit, whatever. For our second date, he fucked it up. He like double booked himself and then it was too late for a work dinner. And I was like, okay, well, whatever, we can reschedule. And he was like, yeah, Friday. He was like, do you want me to plan something? And I was like, I can tell that's really above your mental capacity to plan something. So why don't you just come over and bring a bottle of wine and we can watch a movie? I mean, that's pretty simple. That's a pretty simple instruction. Not only was he 45 minutes late, he sent me a picture of the wine shop and there was a post-it on the door. It said, we'll be back in 5 minutes. And he was like, they've been gone for 20 minutes. I don't know what to do.
Oh, man. Gosh, these airheaded white women like this, dude. The condescending voice, I can't do. This is typically why if you're messing with a woman like this in your same age, she thinks you're an idiot. She thinks you're Fred Flintstone. And even though she wants to hook up with you casually, you will find that these women don't even like you. All right. They just like the sexual interaction. I'm pretty sure there's no genuine burning desire with this woman. All right. And she is plain as plain white rice. All right. But then she's going to have you jumping from hoop to hurdle. All right. Jumping through hoops and hurdles to try to entertain pancakes. All right. With this condescending ass Valley Girl tone. All right. Very boring. She don't have an original thought in her head. And she thinks she's smarter than you, bruh. Yep. Dead on the inside. Dead on the inside, bitch. All for sloppy yogurt. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. And so she's already thinking the guy is a dumbass, a jackass. Simple instructions. I think you know how to do it. The eye roll. Ugh. I'm so important. The world revolves around this woman. All right. In her mind. All right. She is the main character syndrome. She's telling this boring ass story. The dude just coming to go over there and nut in her. All right. That's what's happening here.
First of all, we live in New York City, so there's a wine store approximately every block. Someone on TikTok was like, he just didn't want to pay for the wine. And I was like, that's crazy if true. Second of all, one thing about me is like, I don't want to know how the sausage gets made, especially if you're a man. I don't want you. And he was also like, I'm getting on the train. I'm like, I don't need a fucking play-by-play. Jesus Christ. Like, I really don't think that I'm asking for the moon and stars here. Like, I just don't want to know. It was like that guy that came to visit me.
Another guy. You see this right here? Another guy now. It's just like that guy that came to visit me. Yep. This woman been chatted out. This woman has been chatted out. All right. And look at the death in her eye. Them eyes are dead. All right. No soul. No soul here. Soulless creature. It is what it is. You're not giving a genuine burning desire here. She just wants to hop on your shit like a pogo stick and go back and get some boba or some coffee. She wants to go to the sandwich shop. She wants to go get flown to Paris in Europe or whatever. It is what it is. Dead. And she boring. All right, that's all it is.
Toronto last year when he did a play-by-play of everything. I'm walking through the airport. I can't find this. I can't find that. I don't fucking care. Jesus, I'm not your mom. I'm not your mommy. Like, it's really scary. Like, yes, women are earning more. We're doing better, all this shit. But I swear to God, men are regressing. So I had like...
I mean, she's not lying, but yeah. All right, this is the one that likes to get spit down her throat. This is the ones that get flown out by celebrities and Prince Andrews. And you be like, how? That's how I know. These are the ones that get flown out to Dubai and dookied on. And you'll be like, how, coach? These are the girls that be in Monaco. You're like, how? All right. Ninjas will do everything to defile a girl like this and then come back to American men and speak down to you. What does she even... and speak down to you. And I went to the club, and I went to down Midtown Manhattan. I went to Soho. I went to Tribeca, Temecula, all of this shit. I went down to this. Oh, God. I went to the wine festival. I went to Fashion Week. Ain't accomplished shit. I went to Coachella. All right. And then she will, at the end of the day, she wants her hair pulled and the spit down the back of her throat. That's what she likes. I don't need a fucking play-by-play. Just come here and these are your future wives. She's going to get wifed up, by the way, by somebody that lives in Manhattan or the Hamptons. Somebody's going to wife her up. I know you're going to say no, but somebody is. All right. And she's going to be at Vineyard Vines and she's going to dress up and she's going to be at Gucci store in her Gucci shit, throwing holiday parties, making turkey and shit for a family of 3. She's going to get wifed. Hold on for a second. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull it up. She gonna live on Long Island and be taken care of. Niggas gonna be like, how? All right. And you're gonna be like, damn. Yep. Just like that. Hold up. This is how she gonna be. She gonna be like this a couple of years later, wifed up and shit. 2 IVF kids. This is how she gonna show the fuck up. She gonna be at those, a group of Jewish lady book parties and shit, book club shit. And she gonna be out there with a tennis coach, fucking a tennis coach. She gonna get wifed, all right? She gonna be dressed like this in about 3 to 5 years. Anyway. All right, I don't make the rules. All right, it's the evil world we live in. We have 2 more, and then the main event, the Ku Klux Klanosphere, on display today. All right, we got a woman that says being a man over 40, child-free, and never married is still flexing like it's the 90s and the 2000s. All right, so here we go right here. Sista says it's not a flex if you're 40, child-free, and never been married. Okay.
I'm gonna lie and say I don't know who needs to hear this. That's not true. I know exactly who needs to hear this. Women over the age of 40, 45, definitely older than that. You need to hear this. Men think that at any stage of life, if they don't have children, they've never been married, it is a badge of honor. I'm here to tell you that that is not true. After dating men who are over the age of 45, never been married, never had children, my perspective. I'm not saying all. I don't know all men. I don't want to know all men. The ones that I have met, though, fall into a few categories. I'm not sure you want to go down this road. You do, Godspeed.
All right, I can't wait till this woman has to say, bruh, this woman, I mean, come on. Who wifing this right here? And who's still dating? This one, if she's still dating, it's her fault. No, she should not be dating at this age. It's over for you, ma'am. And I like your little pigtails and whatnot. Still doesn't make you look young. All right. Throwing a hat over your pigtail wig is not going to get me hard at night. It's over. You're in your 40s. You're in your late 40s too. All right. This is definitely knocking on 50. Knocking on 50. And you're still out here trying to date. But let me hear what you got to say.
I'd be with you. Prayers, thoughts, all of that. You're gonna need it. 1, they are severely attached, emotionally, financially, in some cases, attached to their mothers. The enmeshment it knows no bounds. Enmeshment is ridiculous. That is the real reason why they have never married. Because their mothers have taught them that the only woman that's good enough for them is them. Mothers have taught them the only woman who's ever going to really love them and appreciate them and give them what they want in life is them.
All right, so she's going son husband there. So she went son husband. That I would just clearly clear that up. We've talked about that syndrome. She's saying men that have not had children or married or had responsibility for others are son husbands. Okay, so the next one.
Mothers pass hardest of passes. Number 2, men who have not been able to admit or come out of the closet or admit that they prefer men.
This is so tiring. And by the way, I'm first listening to this. Guys, this is tiring. I don't know why women keep doing this with this whole thing. He don't know his sexuality. He can't come out the closet. And I'm pretty sure there are some men like this. We know this. But this is tiring. There's not that many gay men on the earth. There is, but there's not guys that gotta hide it anymore. All right, they can get what they want. This is definitely something black women use. Black women use this a lot, and I'm noticing other women, strags, are using it of other races too. This is so tiring. Just because we're not interested in you, old soggy, and your old soggy biscuits doesn't mean we're not attracted to women. It could be that we're using you for recreational only, and our dick can only go get so hard for a woman in her 40s. This is just, it's weird because they're also the same group that panders to gay men. They go celebrate them, go to brunch, they hang out with them. You know, they do this. They be going to hotels and girl trips, getting their hair done, all of this shit. They're the biggest supporters of men that are like this. But then when it becomes to that the man doesn't like her, then, oh, you must be gay. This is so dumb. I mean, I don't know. This is a no. I mean, the first one I could live with, the son husband thing, but no. I mean, they actually prefer men and they don't know it, or they can't come out the closet. This is so dumb. Listen, it doesn't frustrate me, but it's just so sick. It's so sick at this point to use that as that must be the case as why he doesn't get as hard for me. It could be that you're 45 and you got pussy lips like mud flaps. All right. It was erotic initially. Now I'm going to come hit them skins again, 2 nights, 3 nights. I'm only going to get so hard looking at that deflated booty. This is so dumb. All right. It's not that at all. All right, men like variety. Nobody wants to be hanging out with a 45-plus-year-old woman. All right, that's it. So it's not that. No, I'm going to say no on this one. I'll give her number 1. Number 2, no.
Could be religious, cultural, social combination. There's a reason why they have not been able to live their authentic lives since they've just been single for a long time.
False. That's so dumb. That is the dumbest shit I heard today. This is dumb.
And hard to attach. They're not single because they want to be single. They're single because they don't want to be with women.
Oh my God. This is terrible. Hey, black women, y'all gotta stop this. You guys are the least, just say you're the least desirable. You're the least desirable. People don't like you. Men want to have sex with you and they typically don't want to deal with you much after that. It's pretty much the case, right? Now, just because you out here trying to figure out why you out here single, right? It's the fact that you're in your 40s probably, and you have a pissy attitude. Who wants to be around this? This is terrible, man. Anyway, let's continue. She has a 3rd point, but she's way off with this. This is terrible.
They can't be with who they want to be with. Stop chasing these men. You're barking up the wrong tree. If you want a lavender marriage, by all means, have that. Just know you're sauntering into a lavender marriage.
Oh my
Or 3, men who have a God complex.
Oh, that's
they genuinely think they're too good for women. They also have this Madonna whore complex thing going on. They want you to be perfect, unsullied, even though you're in your 40s, 50s, whatever. Don't have children, never been married, child. You're late.
Yeah, you're old, and she's right on this one.
You missed her perfection year.
That's why I be out. That's why I be at the junior college. That's why I be out with young broads. All right, yeah, that's why I don't waste my time. So I don't be messing with 40-year-old women. Y'all can have it. Yep, that's why I be with 20-year-old women. All right, yep, this is it. So I don't miss her perfection years. I don't want any interest in it. All right, I'm not trying to get them old soggy biscuits. Shout out to the angry man. So that's the truth. All right, so she's right on this one. I got a God complex, and I work very hard to be throwing my life away for a woman in her 40s. Okay, I don't think I deserve better than that. So I do have a God complex. On this, she's right. So she's 2 for 3 right now.
And you sure enough took advantage of other women's perfection years.
Not really.
Now you still want to find perfection in your 40s and 50s?
Not really. And look at this. All right, come on, ma'am. This is crazy right here.
Oh, the humanity.
This is crazy work. Oh, Lord. Could you imagine her after a few glasses of wine trying to defile this? Could you imagine after a few glasses of wine trying to defile this shit right here, bruh? When you could have a 22-year-old right now, fresh out the box. All right, insanity. Ugh. All right.
Oh, the humanity.
Could you imagine she giving you the come hither stare? Come get you some of this roast beef. Come get you some. And she's sitting over in the corner in her chaise lounge, eating a croissant, all right, after a glass of wine and Xanax kicking in, and she's like, come get you some. No, thank you. All right.
Really? Sir, those are the men who say, oh, I'm real picky. I just like things a certain way. No, sir, who are emotionally unavailable and probably financially unavailable too. They're
okay, we broke too.
Probably cheap.
All right, the niggas she dealing with.
My experience. Emotionless.
Yep, that's what I said. She said, my experience. Exactly. The men you're dealing with that are scrap sexuals and catfish of the dating marketplace.
Detached. Bro, move on. I'm not saying all men are this way.
Okay.
After 45, 40 even, being never married and having no children, not the flex you thought it was, sir.
Oh, man, this is terrible. This is why we tell you, man, ladies, be seen, not heard. Be seen, not heard. This is exactly why. Who wants to hear this? This is crazy. He said she deal with YNs. As I told you, she said, my experience, she deal with scrap sexuals and niggas that drive buses. Shout out to the niggas that drive buses, but I ain't shitting on you. But that's what she deal with. Cold approach niggas, Mac Games, Mint. You know, all of these guys that cold approach her and they no good niggas. That's what she dealing with. All right, that's the evil world we live in.
It's an
you got to do the main
evil
event, but I'm going to check here to see if we have any other supporters that want to be acknowledged in today's show. Shout out to Jeff, the producer. I got him. All right. And guys, dating is for young people. Dating is for young people. It's not an old person sport. And particularly, it's not an old woman sport. It is not suitable for older women. You're going to come out here and catch L's. Shout out to Mr. Inquisitive, says, CGA, I was talking to my pops, and he said, when you're dealing with a woman seriously, whatever you're doing now, you're going to have to keep it the same or increase. He says, I never forgot that, which is another reason overextending is a bad strategy. Indeed, that is a co-sponsorship. It reminds me of what Chris Rock said about women don't want to go backwards. All right. So whatever you're doing for her, you're going to have to keep it the same or increase. Once you start doing something less than that, this is when they get a little froggy and want to jump. So this is for men that are teaching men. Getting it for free is not, dude, you're not going to do that for very long, brothers. All right. Blue Bagger says, why is he's always gay? Yep. The black community has this issue, and I think what they don't know is that I think the black women are the ones manifesting this issue. They're the one keeping this issue going because they tend to be supportive of men that live that type of lifestyle. So then it's weird that they throw that back in a straight man's face. Like, I'm sorry, what? You're the one hanging out with these niggas all day long. Y'all be trying to make these niggas aroused. And I think what people said, and somebody once said this, they're around so many of these guys that are gay. And what'll happen is they'll hang out with the guy, get him drunk, and all of a sudden that guy, or they'll try to get him aroused, or they'll try to play with him. And maybe it goes to the point where they play with him. Okay. And shit went, might have been to completion. And they sat around and they had a tag team or a train with 4 ugly black women and they gay friend. And then it ended up where he was, because gay dudes like to grab on their booties and touch their titties. All right. And he's a man. So a lot of people think it's something that he was born with, but I think it's something comes from learned behavior or some sort of trauma. But that's neither here nor there. Y'all can debate that. But what'll happen is some shit went left, or the dude was in jail and she found out because she deal with jail pookies and pookiephilia, and then he was gay for the stay, or he liked booty play, or he wanted to put it up or duke shoot, and now all of a sudden it's an insecurity for her. Now she automatically think all men that want to play with her booty or get played with, that they gay, and it's literally homophobia from the black women themselves. It's a classic case of homophobia, but they then apply that to all men across the board, especially when those men don't have interest in them. Oh, he must be. And the whole time it's her. The whole time it's her. So, you know, they tend to hover around these guys 24/7, and then they will find that these guys are not just gay, they're bisexual. Puff Daddy. On some Puff Daddy shit. So Puff Daddy is a classic example of these type of ninjas. They hang out with these guys, and then all of a sudden they see them doing wild shit, and they go to the sex party, the orgies, and then they see dudes doing shit, and they come out into the regular world with us normies, all right, and then they want to apply that shit across the board for us. Nah. We ain't doing no Diddy shit. And yes, it's a shaming tactic. So they want to just be like, well, you just get it, just to dismiss it as an excuse as to why nobody interested in her. All right, but anyway, Puff Daddy. But the entertainment industry, women be around entertainers 24/7. They're the ones around them entertainer ninjas. And then when they come out with Ray J saying he want to take a shower with Kai Cenat, but these fine little model chicks be with Ray J, and they got to be around this conversation, and they be like, okay, I'm going to just look the other way. Cassie looked the other way on Diddy. So they around these entertainers, and then they gathering information, and they come out here washed up when this bitch was in the Blue Cantrell video from 20 years ago. All right. This woman was fine as hell in the Blue Cantrell video, in the Truth Hurts video. Now she want to come out here 25 years later with her experiences hanging out with Diddy. He says they attract gay men because they like the soft church dudes talking about 5 love languages. Yeah. So they'll go around dudes like this. Ninjas that be out there with they slam poetry and they eloquent talk about how the earth, the flower, and the woman sounded like Common Sense, the rapper. Then they hang around ninjas like that, and to be surprised they like booty play and Duke shooters. All right. Yeah, she was cute in 98 and between 98 and 2002. You couldn't tell her shit. She was on that shit. It is now 2025, man. Ma'am, time to check in. All right, come on. Time to check in. Your time has passed. You have weathered the storm. She's still cute. I mean, she ain't bad looking, but you know she was bad as fuck. Right back there. Nah, I ain't going for that old shaming language. Triggerverse. So, wait, the CNN reporter dated and smashed these racist Manosphere guys. Shaking my head. She's taking undercover journalism too literally. You guys don't know that I do have this belief that there are women who have dated me knowing who I was, and it was an undercover operation. Now, I do have trust issues. I think it was a data collection. I dated a ling-ling. Well, you call it dating. I don't call it dating. I call it mating. And she watches my show. She's probably laughing and sniggling right now. But I told her all the time that I think she was a spy. All right. All right. I tell her all the time, you were a spy. I know you was a spy. But it didn't stop her at all.
What kind of fuck you give me?
Spies, dude. Sex spies are real. All right. I was like, this woman definitely going to expose me later. Right here. All right. I didn't call her Fang Fang, but, you know, she knows. She watches my show. All right. I knew for sure. I tell her all the time. I'm like, for real, man. Who sent you? Who sent you? Who sent you for real? All right. Because you definitely got to be some sort of sex spy. I actually had, the Latino one with KS. It's happening. Guys, we're going to find out this is happening. I had a Russian chick. I'd be like, did Putin send you? I have a Russian chick. I'm like, I know Putin sent you. And she just laughs and giggles. It's like, why this Russian woman on me all of a sudden? Putin sent her for show. All right. And it is what it is. It is what it is. So I got to watch out, man, because, you know, they know how I find the girls, and they be like, hi, daddy. All right. And all of a sudden, I'll be sitting around in China. All right, for sure. I got a Russian chick on me hard, bro. I'm like, dude, Putin got to have sent you. Shout out to my brother that saw me in Amsterdam with my Russian chick. All right, he was like, Coach, how you got her? You looking at me like this don't make sense. Fresh got caught with a ling ling too. All right, so
What kind of fuck you give me?
all right, Fresh got caught with a spy bitch too. All right, so the Manosphere. As a matter of fact, let's get into it. Shout out to our brother, Mr. Inquisitive, with the co-sponsorship. Let's acknowledge him again.
I'm Rizz.
All right, main event. Let's get into it real quick. We're going to find out. Are they using spies to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klanosphere? All right, why can't... Oh, there it is right there inside the Klanosphere. All right, as you guys know, I've labeled the Manosphere the Klanosphere for obvious reasons, all right? Especially the white Manosphere, they're always attacking me for some reason, right? They never collab with niggas, all right? All the black Manosphere guys, they've somehow, over 10 years of YouTube, never have crossed lines, all right? And then, so there is a hint of all-right racism in the Manosphere, and that cannot be denied. A lot of those white guys in the Manosphere, they don't like to see niggas shine over here. They don't, all right? And they have turned their sights on me and giving me no chance to extend my hand out and lend an olive branch and all of that. So I've labeled the Manosphere the Klanosphere. And no, that is not me sympathizing for you ninjas. It is what it is. And this woman's going to talk about the Klanosphere right here. And it says, let me see here. Not this woman right here. All right. It's not this woman. It says this woman dated only far right men for a year. Oh, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. This woman dated only far right men for a year, and they're calling these men Manosphere guys. I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if that's fair at all. This is why I don't participate in the media's portrayal of what the Manosphere is. It is oftentimes, let me just say this, it is oftentimes what they're looking for is to expose far right Trumpers, MAGAs. All right. And so if they can find the political angle, they're not looking for CGA. They're never going to come to CGA. They're never going to ask me my opinion. They will, they do, but they're never really targeting a guy like CGA. They're targeting alt-right, white supremacists, Trumpers, MAGAs. All right. That's their only interest in it. So when they talk about misogyny, it is definitely from the Klanosphere side. All right. The Klanosphere, the Andrew Tate side. The side over there, the Rule Zero, all of those guys, they want to expose them. They're not exposing CGA. I'm not that much of a threat in terms of the political arena, in terms of that Manosphere. They don't care about Angry Man, Black Gnostic Speaks, you know what I mean, Ringo Raw. They don't care about Ron Wills or anybody closely situated. Not even Kevin Samuels, they really don't care about on the CNN. All right, they're going in on the Klanosphere. All right, so we know this. So when people say this is a hit piece on all the Manosphere, no, it's not. It's a hit piece on the Klanosphere. All right, and they're going in to search out the racist alt-right white guys. That's who they want. All right, that's who they want. That's who they want to expose. They don't give a fuck about me or my viewership. They probably laugh and sniggle at me. They probably like me. All right, but they don't like the Klanosphere. Yeah, they ain't going in. They're going in on that side. All right, so and yes, that's their own side. So here we go right here. Let's play the video.
Got in the cage with former UFC star turned podcaster Jake Shields to explore the Manosphere and why exactly it's so popular.
They speak liberal, they have liberal friends, and then they go online and they are a white supremacist.
This is Vera Papasova.
She spent the last year dating far-right men in New York City for a story for Cosmopolitan magazine.
They're the most insecure men I've ever sat down with. It was really difficult to have some of these dates because they were so insecure, because they don't really know who they are and they don't know how to figure that out.
Not a surprise they chose a Russian, all right, or a Russian-ish Eastern European, Kornikova, whatever her last name is. So they chose a Russian kind of, blonde. She's an Eastern European, Russian, Latvian, Lithuanian, right, type of woman here. And guess what? She's used that to date other guys for basically spy purposes. So you're seeing now she's like their insecure, alt-right. Jake Shields, for those that don't know, is a UFC fighter. So he's going to be the one that they're calling the Manosphere. This is why I say this has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with me. Jake Shields has a podcast. Now they've propped up Jake Shields as some hero of the Manosphere. Now, to be honest with you, I've seen him in person here in Las Vegas. I've seen him at the gym. I don't really know. I've never listened to Jake Shields. All right. I don't have a clue of what he's talking about. I've seen him with Sneeko. I know he hangs out with, Myron and Fresh. They're connected. All right. But I know nothing related to that. So it seems like Jake Shield is now the target. He is now the ghost of the Manosphere. And so they're using that alt-right Sneeko audience, Myron Gaines, that whole audience going in on who-ish is, Andrew Tate. You see what I'm saying? All right, that's what they're doing here. All right, so let's hear it here. I'm going to pause every minute, though.
She said the men she dated got all their news and information from the so-called Manosphere.
They did not listen to anything else. They're only listening to independent media, and they're only listening to men talking to men.
The Manosphere is made up of macho podcasters and influencers.
There's no such thing as an independent female.
Most women have zero concept of money.
Females don't have independent thought.
It's a space where UFC fighters are among those who reign supreme.
They love the UFC guys. They love the MMA guys because those guys do what they can. They're modern gladiators. They're badass.
Badass like Jake Shields, a former UFC star turned podcaster.
Sorry. Now I'm starting to feel nervous. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Who I met at an MMA gym in Las Vegas.
Like all great MMA pros.
All right, I've seen pieces like this. So Jake Shields is now the guy that they're kind of putting ahead as, this. And Jake Shields seems like a nice dude. I have nothing to say about him. I've never listened to his podcast, but as you can see, they feature Myron for a short clip and Andrew Tate, Macho. These men like MMA. I mean, come on, bro. What they supposed to like? What they supposed to like? And then you have this on the other side. Now, this is the edition of men that they want. I don't know what's wrong with this and these propagandists and the people that look at Manosphere guys who tend to be fit. Myron, fit. Andrew Tate, fit. Andrew Tate, MMA kickbox. Jake Shields, fit, in shape, opinionated, self-made, fit. But then they asked these guys to give the interview to the Manosphere as an opposing version of man. This is supposed to be the real man right here with his goddamn inhaler, out of shape, scruffy. Whereas the other guys are well-kept, hairline lined up, Bugatti, Rolex. Now you got low T nigga over here, Barney Rubble. He's supposed to be what men are supposed to be. And then he's the opposing view to Jake Shields. I'm pretty sure he's going to interview him. But here's the problem with that. These women then complain that men aren't real men. Where did the real men go? How come men don't lead? But then they will put juxtaposed to Jake Shields, this guy, Barney Rubble. Out of shape, can't do shit. And these are the guys that are supposed to be the real version of men, which they do represent the majority of American men. The majority of American men look low self-esteem, sloppy, but they're going to put the Jake Shields as insecure. I mean, this is a joke. This shit is a joke so far, and I haven't reviewed the video. I'm reviewing it live with you.
I I've never hit anyone in my life.
I'm not punching back. Hit me. No, I sit right here. KO.
All right, you knew this was coming.
This is CNN. Do you miss being full-time pro, like in terms of?
You know, of course I miss it. To go from professional athlete, which is the highest of highs, to retirement.
And I guess
the podcast has helped. You could fall into depression if you just go from the most amazing career where you're famous and spotlights to all of a sudden you're a nobody.
Sure.
Like other podcasters in the Manosphere, Jake regularly hosts controversial guests.
And I named the podcast Fighting Back. I feel like we have to fight back what we're told we're allowed to do. I just don't like to be told you're not allowed to talk to this person. Like, why?
Do you guys consider Jake Shields the Manosphere? Let's start right there. Okay. Now, I must be, I'm not in tune to whoever's new. I tend to not know the new people here. This is one of the things when I do so much content, I can't discover new content. So from about 2021 till today, I'm not really hip to the new people, the new wave. I'm stuck in my shit, and I'm the king of kings. So I don't know what's going on with everybody else. So my question is, do y'all consider Jake Shields the Manosphere? Is he Manosphere adjacent? Is this fair for CNN to now do a piece on the Manosphere and not include me, not include people that have 10 years in the game, not include, like, this is silly. I mean, I don't have shit against Jake Shields, but why is he the picture? But what it is he's probably more political leaning. He's probably more like the Hodge twins and less CGA. He's more Hodge twin than CGA. So then when he's interviewing alt-right Andrew Tate type guys, they can then post him up as the Manosphere. Now, I think that's a mistake, and that's a misrepresentation of what's been happening over here. But you guys what? The normies don't care about that. The world doesn't care about that. Not that I would appear on the show. I'm just saying, I don't think Jake Shields is the portrait of the Manosphere.
Can I talk to him? I'm not saying I agree with his ideology, but I should hear what he has to say.
He's hosted the former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Today I have a very, very special guest, Dr. David Duke. I knew you're controversial, but I had no idea how controversial.
And Thomas Russo, the leader of the white supremacist group Patriot Front.
Let's go where we disagree a little bit.
Yes, sure.
Let's hit race, because you're a white-only group?
So the organization only allows people of American ethnicity, and all Americans, I believe, come from Europe, so they're white.
The true heirs of the American spirit fight on!
Yeah, no, I understand and talk to these guys, but I've also not brought anyone hateful. If I do, I'm going to be really on top of them.
But so you saying that you haven't brought someone hateful on, right? People will say, well, you brought on the Grand Wizard of the KKK, you brought on Patriot Front.
Yeah.
They're hateful.
No, I think those are excellent questions, but if people go and watch the actual interviews, I think they would be like, oh, this guy's not near as hateful as
Hey man, if you see CNN use Klanosphere, you know where they got it from. So my take on the Manosphere being the Klanosphere is exactly right. All right, it's not wrong. I know you guys want to get in your feelings about it, but the Manosphere being the Klanosphere and them, the Manosphere shaping itself into the Klanosphere is true. All right, this is true, and even the media is trying to shape the Manosphere into the Klanosphere. All right, there is a lot of adjacent conversations and talks related to alt-right and shit like that, whether you believe so or not. Hey, if that's your belief system, that's your belief system. But they're also trying to shape the Manosphere into the Klanosphere. It's only a matter of time that CNN or somebody else runs with this, and then, CGA again. I don't consider this Manosphere content, all right, in my opinion, but, I've never watched this type of content in 10 years of being on YouTube. I've never once watched a video by any of these people or interviewing any of these people. But listen, it is what it is.
If I expect it.
But Vera says hate isn't what the men she dated were really looking for.
One of these guys brought me to a political meeting.
And did they talk about politics?
Barely. They talked about, it was a bunch of men complaining about girlfriends and wives, regurgitating Andrew Tate type of advice about how to train your girlfriend, how to train your wife to be submissive. And so this group was supposed to be a political group, but they're talking about relationship problems. And the fact that that's what most of the time was spent on, you don't need to be a neo-Nazi. You need therapy.
Okay, first and foremost, what type of dumbass ninja taking a woman to whatever the event you're taking her to? If it's alt-right, Klanosphere shit, Manosphere, what type of dumb ninja is doing that? I mean, but there's some dumb ninjas out here doing that. So that's their fault. And you brought a whole infiltrator. What did I say about this? I said this space will be infiltrated heavily. I was talking about this COINTELPRO. I think I talked about it in my video about the Manosphere. All right, on my Coach Greg Adams channel. All right, I said this space will be infiltrated big time. Okay, so it's now you see clear evidence of what I was saying about the Manosphere is that they, and I would say the Manosphere content creators are going to bring in the infiltrators, if you will. All right, in this video right here, how the Manosphere destroyed itself. All right, my critical critique in January about the Manosphere. All right, and I said some of these content creators are infiltrators themselves. All right, and I kind of named them. All right, but why they rise to fame and others don't should be studied. Why certain people get demonetized and certain people don't should be studied. Like what's going on there? Right, that's absolutely weird. But I talked about this type of infiltration already in my critical critique of the Manosphere. That the Manosphere will destroy itself, and this is one way they'll do it. Now, let me add one more thing of what she said was interesting. Why are they here, political event or whatever event she's saying? Why are they talking about relationship issues? Guys, relationship issues are the number one issue affecting men and women. Even when you bring in political, you can go to a finance conference and relationships are going to be brought up. I had a brother here, Yuri Muhammad. I can't remember his name, Dr. Muhammad. He's a Nation of Islam guy, and he said the same thing. He goes there to these things, and he was talk about the politics, the community, and religion, and he says inevitably when the breakout sessions happen, relationships are the number one subject. So her to say this is going to reframe it as, why are they talking about relationships? Relationships are always going to be an issue for everybody. We could be at a work seminar. Relationships are going to come up. So this is not a surprise at all. Well, she's trying to say, why are they talking about relationships when they want to talk about neo-Nazism? Relationships are an issue for everything. It affects everything that we do, especially when you don't have it under control. It's Nuri Muhammad. Thank you. Not Yuri Muhammad. Nuri Muhammad. I played a clip of him saying the same thing. We could talk about all of this and rehab the community, but anytime you break it down, relationships are going to be subject matter. This is why I will continue to be relevant, because the relationships are going to be a shit show. They've been a shit show, and it's going to continue to be a shit show. The minute I leave the relationship conversation, I don't have content. So the conversation centered around the dynamics between men and women and the economics is going to be a conversation forever. Let's continue. All right, so this is I guess a shaming tact that she's using. Has no big deal. It's not a big deal.
The Appeal of Jake's podcast speaks to a need among young men in this country that Vera says can't be ignored.
You have to incentivize someone to want to be better. You can't just say, let's make men better. The thing about these guys is their biggest support system is online, but that also is very isolating, and isolation is what breeds hatred.
Groups like Patriot Front offer community, but community based on racism and hate.
People have to really think about, do you have the capacity to talk to people that you don't agree with? Because that one nice conversation you might have might change someone's day enough to not have to seek out help in an online support group, which is actually a bunch of white supremacists.
Hey, that's the smartest thing she said. She said men have been isolated. Men have been left alone to their own vices. Men have not been focused on. This has been something we've been saying for a long time. They've been saying men are falling behind. Well, this continued push to prop up women have left men ignored. Okay, to where they're like, ignore you and, ignore all of your gains. I think Dr. Thunder says 70 to 80% of all valedictorians in high school are women. So are they smarter than men? That's what the women are going to say. Or are they continually propping up women? We need to prop up women. We need to give them some confidence. They're trying to prop them up so they can be good, loyal tax servants. all right, and future slaves. Okay, we get all that. But now you left men with nothing to reach towards. You know, they can't watch Netflix because it's complete goofiness and propaganda filled with all kind of this identity politics. They can't watch certain things on television. They can't watch the news because it's all catered to agendas, political. So men can't watch it. They're only going to be here because we're the only ones willing to speak real shit to them. Now, if they don't like it, that's their fault. They need to start maybe getting themselves to the main, instead of going to say, we need to counter program the manosphere, the men from the manosphere. You need to provide men something to watch. Now, when they watch MMA, they get criticized. These men like MMA. Okay, well, give men something to watch. But every time they turn on network TV, it's some Duke shooter bullshit. Well, we need to be inclusive. Men don't want to hear that. No matter how much you try to shove it down our neck, we don't want to hear it. Men can barely watch sports without some shit coming into the middle of it. People taking a knee, motherfucking trans people swimming against people. You can't even watch the sports. Niggas running around in pink jerseys. You're like, okay. You can't. So you are missing out on the golden opportunity to provide value. You can't even listen to NPR because they start going liberal. So you're not even providing content for men. So you're then mad when men go seek out content that is soothing for them, that entertains them, that gives them what they want. Now we're penalized. Now you're making it, well, they're running over there to listen to them. Well, give them better options. Stop trying to push your bullshit into where men find popularity. Men tend to make things popular by viewership. Then the ladies and all the agendas start coming in. We need to put our shit in too. No, leave your shit up out of there. Men been watching gladiator sports since 3,000 years. And probably more barbaric shit, not even put on record before that, for 5,000 years and 80,000 years. We've been always watching some shit. But as soon as we pay attention to something, they need to bring it in. We want to watch the World Wrestling Federation. Now they want to bring in women. We need to put the women as the main event. Bro, we don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see Charlotte Flair with her pancake booty jumping off the top rope, backflipping. I don't want to see that shit. I'm going to go get popcorn and snacks. All right, tell me when the motherfucker ding ding. Okay, the match is over. I'll come back. Where's King Kong Bundy at? All right. But they keep just pushing it. And then when we say, I don't want to see it, now it's hate. It's not hate. Nobody want to see that shit. Why don't you take that shit somewhere else? Why don't you have their own arena and put that shit in there? We don't want to see it. Now, you want to have a bra and panty match, a oil wrestling match, bitches in a wet t-shirt contest match, mud wrestling. Now we gonna show up, all right? Put Charlotte Flair in the mud wrestling contest, in a wet t-shirt contest. All right, now we showing up, all right? Put it there. Okay, there they go right there. But that's misogyny, okay? That's what they call misogyny. But I'm trying to help y'all. New world order. Okay, but they don't want to hear this shit. Well, they don't want to watch our shit and listen to us. I mean, who wants to listen to these miserable people that hate themselves and fill their pockets up with therapists and then want to send us to the same therapy their unhappy ass is going to? And obviously, therapy's not working for you. Why you want to push me in there so I can be unhappy with myself, popping antidepressants every 2 minutes, complaining about shit because you can't get men wrangled under control because we want to do some ab exercises and shit like that because we don't want to date 46-year-old women?
Using political beliefs as an excuse for how they feel.
Donny O'Sullivan is here with us now. Donny, I'm so glad you've done this special. There's so much intrigue around this issue of the Manosphere. And in fact, Trump is going to the UFC tonight. How big of a role does the sport play in the Manosphere?
Hey, Isabel. Yeah, and look, we should point out at the start here, there's tons of guys who are fans, and some women as well, who are fans of the UFC.
Thank you. Thank you. See, y'all trying to make everybody that go to the Manosphere, everybody that go to UFC Manosphere, that's not true at all. That is terrible. But these people, this is why men don't watch the media. I know women that go to the UFC and MMA, they're not Manosphere. All right. This is terrible. So I'm glad he did clear that up.
I have many friends who are fans of the UFC. It certainly does not mean, you know, that if you are a fan of the UFC, you are falling sort of down this rabbit hole of hate and white supremacy and everything else. But what we are seeing is that there is this sort of
She didn't like
there is this crossover.
She didn't like that. I tell you, these people. New world. I'm sorry, I'm pausing this. You guys can watch the full interview if you want. She did not like that. You see that reaction? She didn't like that shit. Look at that.
And everything else. But what we are seeing is that...
Look at that. She didn't like that, bruh. She didn't like him setting her straight and not staying on them talking points. She sat back like, oh, you gonna do me that? She stacked her papers. She hated that. Shout out to that guy for not falling into that trap, that loaded question.
You are falling sort of down this rabbit hole of hate and white supremacy and everything else. But what we are seeing is that there is this sort of, there is this crossover. The UFC is playing a greater and bigger role really in American life. Joe Rogan, who's the world's biggest podcaster, is a UFC commentator. Dana White, who is the founder of the UFC, is a prominent Trump supporter and was recently appointed to the board of Meta by Mark Zuckerberg himself. Another big MMA and UFC fan. And actually fighting tonight in Miami. Trump is going to the event. We're not sure if he'll be...
So this is about Trump. This is about Trump. It's not about Manosphere.
There for the earlier fights, but fighting tonight in Miami at the UFC event is...
She don't care about none of this shit.
...is a fighter by the name of Bryce Mitchell, who recently set up a podcast of his own, and on his debut episode a few months ago, he said that Hitler was a quote-unquote good guy or a great guy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. All right.
Dana White, the head of the UFC, was quick to condemn that, but you know, you can just kind of see there where folks who might be coming into this sport for one reason are a fan of fighting, and then they're getting exposed to views like Bryce Mitchell's.
Okay, all right. All right. Anyway, you see, this is not about what CGA talks about, because very few of my issues that I talk about, I can get somewhat political. I don't go too far deep into the rabbit holes of these issues with you-know-who-ishes and Little Mustache Man. I kind of stay away from that. I have my opinions on it, but there's certain things that I don't bring on that are my opinions that I don't bring to this show because it's not relevant. Okay, it doesn't matter, and then it's going to just take the show to a level where then it's easy to discredit me because you don't believe that part. And then it becomes the red herring. It becomes the straw man. So I think the Manosphere can learn from that. Although we want to explore these things and you guys want to be the first to expose and it might get you some attention, it then does make everything you say irrelevant after that to a majority of people, right? Because now you're like, oh, the Rothschilds. All right, listen, I could talk about that, the Kennedy assassination. I do have fascinations with that. But then it becomes then, you know, I could talk about big up Donald Trump, which I've done on streams here and there. But then that becomes the one thing that they can say, oh, if that's your belief system, you're totally wrong about relationships and marriage then. So it discredits me, and I'm aware of that. So I don't bring too much of that leaning shit over here, although people would like it. But it just would discredit everything that I worked hard for. And the Manosphere, the Klanosphere has that issue. They're just going to be like, oh, you interviewed David Duke. So everything you say after that is irrelevant. We could just wash our hands with you and discredit you like that. All right. You interviewed David Duke. You're a sympathizer. You didn't ask him hard questions. You agree with him on certain things. Discredit. All right. The Klanosphere definitely can suffer from that. But shout out to CNN. It was another good try. Another good try. As you can see, I'm not the target of any of these type of pieces, and I never will be. I know people think, oh, coach, you're going to be interviewed next. And I'm never going to be in that level of status where the mainstream is going to pick me up. All right. And because I am thorough. The Klanosphere is not thorough. They're sloppy. All right. I've been critical about the Klanosphere in the manosphere. They're sloppy, lazy content creators. All right. Jealous, jealous, men hating that. Well, they're not men hating, but they hate. There's a lot of high school elements and characters and bitch made men in the manosphere, including the content creators and the Mitches that watch. So this is a weak spot that I've been trying to expose, and I've been good. I'm thorough. I do my research. I back up. I present my stories well. I'm organized. All right. I'm consistent. All right. I don't have a lot of things that are not congruent. Right. So it's hard to pick where CGA. Yeah, I'm opinionated. You might not like where I went with it, but you will see why I thoroughly arrived at the subject. So they're never going to come to me. And yes, shout out to Anthony Brian Logan, ABL. Go subscribe to his channel. He says the powers that be are concerned about the condition of the white men, not us. So I don't represent Manosphere, right? To a lot of people, even the white Klanosphere people, they don't consider me Manosphere. They think I'm completely out. They would much less hope that I quit and push me out. Right. And they would just be totally happy with me not putting out content even related to any of this space. They don't consider me a part of their group. I'm an outsider to them, even in the Klanosphere. So I'm never going to be on that level. In fact, nobody's had been to that level. Kevin Samuels is the only one. But think about all of the wonderful men of many other races other than white supremacists, alt-right, Trump supporting, MAGA thumping. Think of all of those guys that have been in the manosphere. None of them got no run. None of them got media attention. None of them blew up on social media because we're not the concern. We're not the concern for the CNNs and the mainstream. It's really white men, incels, school shooter, MAGAs, these guys. Yep, I don't race hustle, so I'm pretty congruent. I'm consistent. My message matches up. You could just disagree with me at the end of the day, but I'll never be that type of guy where they just push me up and be like, we got to watch out for the likes of CGA. It's never going to be that because I'm pretty much you agree or disagree and you could just walk away. Let me do these super chats. And I don't really go in on too many political issues per se. I don't be like, these trannies need to be stopped. And a lot of these Manosphere guys are literally rockheads. They're rockheads. All right. A lot of these Manosphere guys are two-syllable speaking individuals. These motherfuckers don't say anything with 4 syllables. All right. Because they're literally Fred Flintstone. Okay. Manosphere guys. Straight up Fred Flintstone, Rockhead, Spacely Sprocket, George Jetson, motherfucking Homer Simpson. All right. They don't say anything. Do the work. Do this, go there, the Jews. That's literally that's as far as their motherfucking mind can go. Bonobos. They don't go anything past that. As soon as they go into hypergamy, they even mispronounce that. Hypergamy. They really are dumb. They really kind of dumb, male, 5 o'clock shadow niggas. Yep, yabba dabba do ass niggas. That's what they are. And the black Bamas are the same thing. All right, so they really kind of dumb, and then they'll put those people out front and center. Andrew Tate, duh, ass nigga. You know what I mean? Feminism. That's what they do. And I'm definitely ain't like that. All right, I'm kind of trying to put some work and effort. I ain't lazy. Pop the balloon reaction. I'm literally ain't doing shit like that. Where these niggas come out, duh. These niggas the mummy. Duh, feminism bad. Feminism bad. Dumb bitches, the Jews. Like, I'm pretty level-headed. I'm pretty level-headed, so they'll never come after me because I'm not doing mummy content. Dumb, 2-syllable words. Lazy content. They're not going to come after me. Chris Mack says only BWs can question black men's sexuality this much. And you wonder why. You wonder why. All right. But why do they do that? It's very weird. BWs questioning black men's sexuality. It's weird. Content creators pissed at me. And content creators, I know you're watching me. So I be out here shading the fuck out of y'all niggas. All right. Because y'all be watching me under your alt accounts. Trying to hate. All right. And I'm a snap. Right, but a lot of these niggas are Neanderthals in the Klanosphere. All right, they really don't. They're boring for me, bro. I can't watch them over and over again. All right, Rational Irrationality says, Coach, I am a white country bumpkin, and you are the only content creator I listen to on a daily basis. We were just talking about that. And somewhat Aaron Clary and Joker. Shout out to those brothers. You've been here since 2019. I listen on common sense and reality, not based on color. It's free agent lifestyle for life. All right, shout out to you, brother, man. Thanks for being here. We got white country bumpkin brothers in here. My show is not tailored to race, not trying to be polarizing, not exclusive. I try to invite all guys to the conversation. Although my face is, I'm a black guy, so people think it's for black men only. I try not to be that. Profitable Pat says, Coach, you motherfucker, says your Mitch slapping rant on the pro-blacks are music to my ears. Hit the fuck 'em song, please. Men, we tired of pro-blacks. All right, I can't deal with them niggas, man. I can't deal with them. Yes, indeed. Music to his ears. All right, shout out to you. Kevin W. says, if she dated all of these men, how come there is no hidden camera footage of her interactions with these men? CNN can afford hidden cameras. So, yeah, is she lying? Is she lying about dating these guys? Did she fuck these guys? I mean, that's an interesting question right there. Where's the proof that you dated these guys? They're all insecure. What it is men have literally drawn the line. There's a group of men that have drawn the line, whether we agree or agree to disagree, whether I think I'm the king of kings and I think these men are subpar, whatever it is. We've drawn the line on what the individuals have been trying to push down on men. Okay. And this has been, and gentlemen, it will not stop. Just understand, when I tell you how you deal with women, when you deal with women, their last ask is not the last ask. They will put pressure on you until you buckle, until you go crazy, until you snap, till you crash out. You think if you solve their problems, then you solved all the problems. All right, I'll solve your problems. All right, honey-do. All right, happy wife, happy life. Guys, they're just going to continue. And this is what the agendas are doing. This is not a gender war. It's an agenda war. They're pushing an agenda. What it is, who knows? I don't know where it goes. I kind of see where it's going. And it is anti-male for sure. It is pushing some other shit, especially it's anti-black male, right? Anti-masculine. They're driving this down the throat. Now, what happens is they're not going to quit until all of you niggas is running around with pink barrettes in your hair. That's what I think. The remaining men who don't comply, will fuck all the rest of the women. Take your pick. Pick your side. The remaining men that stand on a square, those are the women those are the men that the women are going to fuck and procreate with and so forth and so on. All right, but all of y'all that eventually will buckle and wear lip glop and paint your nails and put curlers in your hair and wear pink bonnets to play basketball, sew in wigs into your motherfucking head, all of y'all niggas is going to be the niggas left the fuck out. Poor and slaves. That's who y'all going to be. The rest of the dudes that stand on a square, the women will fuck the shit out of us. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be death by snoo. We'll get all the pussy. We'll fuck everybody. Yep, niggas running around in dresses. Playboy Cardi running around in a thong. He got a thong, whatever that shit is. He had a leotard on. Okay. That's the bottom line. And it goes, there's more to add to that, but I don't have time, all right? I don't have time, but that's where they're pushing the shit. They want y'all ninjas bisexual and touching each other and distracted and shit. That's where they want y'all. And that, for some reason, that benefits them. I can't really particularly put my finger on why that benefits them, but there's a benefit to them, and that's where they see it going. And there's a deeper rabbit hole to that. They want y'all low self-esteem. They want y'all out here feeling, whoever they is. I'm just saying that's where it's going, and there's no stopping. There's no levels to how they're going to stop y'all from doing this. They're going to GMO y'all niggas to death. They got y'all eating hot Cheetos and pickles. Y'all niggas will be playing double dutch out here. And they will love every single pop. They will love every single situation. They love that shit, eating it alive. Now, the rest of the guys, Andrew Tate ass niggas, CGA ass niggas, we standing on our square. We gonna fuck everybody from that point on. Whether we pay, trick, don't trick, and y'all niggas gonna be pussy left out. That's the final, that's where we're going. You could call it depopulation, control of the men. They got y'all diluted and misdirected, but that, to me, that is the final solution. That is what they looking for. That is what the agenda is gearing you guys and setting y'all up for. And in my opinion, it's going to be 90-10 rule. 100%. And they going to want y'all, it's a simp programming to have y'all marry these women right here. Okay? And the fact is, men are still fighting hard. There's a couple of dudes fighting hard against this, where you don't realize this is new propaganda. Telling men that women are doing better than men. Men are falling behind. Telling men that women are starting businesses and boss babes and buying more houses. Telling men, and whether this is true or not, they don't have a problem telling you. They're telling men women are still fabulous. 40's the new 25. Telling men that 40-year-old women are having more children than teenage girls. Okay? They're constantly telling you the future is female and that female older women are the prize. Date these women. IVF. We got all the science. Jerk off into a petri dish. Okay, you should be happy. You should be lucky. So they're pressing you. And they're pushing out all this shit where you guys then come over here and argue and try to stand on your square until you one buckles right down the goddamn. Then all of a sudden it's there. They will tell you up and down that 20-year-old women are children. These are all agenda-driven content propaganda. 22-year-old women are children. What is a 30-year-old dating a 19-year-old for? What the fuck? Are you crazy? This ain't brand new. 30-year-old men been dating 19-year-old women for a long motherfucking time. For 80,000 years. 30-year-old men have not been dating 40-year-old women anytime on the fucking planet. And if it did, that civilization fell and collapsed. That civilization does not exist anymore. Now, Napoleon Bonaparte did marry a 40-year-old single mother, so there's that. Right? There's that. All right. So, not saying it doesn't happen, but even Napoleon buckled. And she had two 20-year-old daughters. And even that daughter had a child. So, wowzers. It does happen in history, but it is not the primary thing. He crowned her himself. And that's why he has ended up in the Russians whooped his ass. All right, so anyway. It's short kings. The short kings will always pick up the scraps, even if he's the king. He said he did it for the money. All right, shout out to him. Because she was connected. I think she was connected. But shout out to Kevin W., man, the software tester, laying this up on game, saying she ain't got no footage. And we got our brother Gary says, Coach, I can see relationships being a topic at political events. Reason being, all the sailors, military, land seekers that are all sought riches to either have one woman or many women, and women love men who conquer and dominate. So if they can't, if they can't something, the men left are with scraps and nothing. So if they can't, the men are left with scraps and nothing. Okay, I was clearing that up. But relationships are always going to be an issue. Okay, so they're always going to be an issue. So I don't see why she was saying that. They end up talking about relationships. Relationships is the number one subject. And it will continue to be for the next, I'm telling you, bro, this never going away. Relationship issues are never going away. And the data shows us this. I don't think we are going to get back to a time where men and women will be primarily married. I've been saying that for years. We will have poly before we have normie, heterosexual, waspy, white Anglo-Saxon marriages. That shit is for the suburbs. That's dead. That's old hat. That traditional waspy family 2-parent dynasty shit is gone for the majority of Americans. It's over. It's a pipe dream for you. You ain't getting that. You ain't getting that. And if you do, you better be in the burbs. And even then, you'll probably be in some swinger shit and some wild shit, or divorced, or your wife banging the trainer, you cheating on your wife. That's where we at. And that's a sad reality. So until that's going to be my approach to the content, I've been saying that's my approach to where things are going. And people continue to disagree with this and fight it. And I'm like, okay, keep fighting it. Keep fighting it. The norm is not going to be that, although we'll still see it. It's just going to be less and less people participating in it, especially those who lean liberal. Those who lean liberal are going to do less and less and less of it. Okay, it's going to be a lot more single women than in the history of the world. That's where we're going. And a lot of men ain't going to get no pussy, all right, unless you buy or lease some. Okay, I mean, that's my prediction. You guys heard it before. I have to keep reiterating it. I know people wish it would be better, but coach, show me how to do it then. You want me to show you how to be successful doing something that I say will not be a norm in 20 years. Why are you asking me to solve your goofy relationship issue when I'm telling you it's not going to be a norm in 20 years? It's not going to be the norm. The black community literally is the microcosm of that. Because people were like, how can it not be the norm? Look at the black community. The black community is the microcosm of the greater American society. What happens there, it starts there. It's ground zero. Now, if you can't see that the black community already lives in that world and that the United States is headed there, how will we exist if we don't have it? The black community is already doing it. They've been doing it for 20 years. They're still here. They kill each other and shit like that, but they still are here. They still are around. It ain't like the planet fell off the goddamn axis. So we can still survive living outside the social norm. Will it be healthy? Will there be crime and violence? Yes, there's going to be things that come from it. But the proving ground is the black community. And look, they don't have a norm where marriage is primary in 2-parent households. They literally have every other, Black Lives Matter told you, they literally have every other type of relationship that they'll promote except for a patriarch relationship. We're against the patriarch. We'll have 2 lesbians with a kid. We'll have a lesbian and a gay guy with a kid. We'll have a black woman with a kid. That they'll promote that all motherfucking day long. They put that in their Communist Manifesto. And there it is. That's what they're doing. Single parent, stepdad, stepmom. And they're still here. They're not in a healthy economic condition, which is probably going to be emblematic of everybody in the social norm today. We literally are living where only 17% of American households are mother, father, kids. 17%. We're in a nosedive. Yeah, and if communism is their ultimate goal, we're headed there. I hope I ain't alive when it hits. Meaning that I hope it's further. I hope if it hits and it's tomorrow, I hope I'm alive. But I hope it's further into my world, right? I hope it's in 2080. All right, and I'm 90. But we'll still be here. The world won't fall off. We ain't all going to die and be doomed. We'll still be here living on top of each other in goddamn storage containers. It'll be okay. But the norm will not be 2-parent household, mother, father, husband, wife, kid, eternal marriage. Marriage until you die. That shit is gone for the majority of people. It's a pipe dream. Anybody continuing to still pursue that, God bless you. I don't have any secrets how to make this work, because look at how many people actually celebrate 30-year anniversaries. How many people celebrating 40-year anniversaries? How many people celebrating 50-year anniversaries? How many people celebrating 60-year anniversaries? It's dead. And it been dead. It's already gone. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all continue to fight and uphold this waspy future. It's gone. So y'all gonna get with the free agent lifestyle. Y'all better learn how to live single. Y'all better learn how to survive being single, because most of your life will be single. For the majority, not the waspy suburban peoples in Boise. All right, congratulations. Not motherfucking families in Draper, Utah. All right, congratulations. All right, anyway, now government name says, when I first heard the saying, no money, no honey, I instantly reversed it to no honey, no money. I've never had an issue. You missed my chat earlier about paying for dates in the States. Shout out to you. So yes, reverse it and you'll win. Reverse it and you win. If you get married, you are surely to get divorced. Like, that is the percentage. You are more likely to get divorced than to stay married. I can't help you with this. I can't stop this motherfucking train. Okay? So good luck, man. Good luck. Y'all want me to solve the issue. I didn't start the fire. Y'all trying to get me to solve something. This is unfair to me. Y'all trying to get me to solve something that I did not destroy. I didn't make it like this. I didn't make horror culture. I didn't make Glorilla and all of these people popular. I didn't fuck this up. So do not make me sit around trying to fix this shit. We're going to have a series of relationships. That's it. If you're lucky. If you're lucky. All right. You're going to have a series of spouses, a series of hookers, a series of girlfriends. The women are going to have a series of boyfriends, a season of men. In and motherfucking out. That's where we are. You better get used to that. That is our future. No government name says dating in the States, for me, $0. Dating outside of the country, thousands of dollars. Is bad, coach. He says, in 2 years, I could have bought a car with cash. All right, shout out to you.
Oh, the humanity.
All right. But they're going to pressure that. They got women out here that's going to be like, live for 20s and 30s, and then maybe at 40, turn this shit around. All right, you out here spending money tricking overseas. But do not blame me for this. Land of Sashes says dysfunction has been glamorized a while now. And for younger people, just understand, I'm an old head. I've seen this shit since motherfucker Anita Hill. I've seen this since they said ain't nothing going on but the rent. Trust me, I've seen the steady progression of dysfunction in real time. Before there was YouTube, before there was Pop the Balloon. You guys think this is modern women. Modern women. By the way, Kevin Samuels saying modern women. Do you know why he called it modern women? I know this is inside information. Some of you guys don't know why he said modern women. It is not modern women that he was talking about. But Kevin Samuels was a genius when it came to this algorithm shit. And he was a genius when it came to this, when you go back, he was a genius when it came back into the, let me see here. Why am this word slipping my mind? The analytics. He was an analytic guy. Why did he use the phrase modern women? What people then say, these modern women changed. These modern women are different. It's not true. They've been on a steady decline to degeneracy and dysfunction and whatever the fuck they've been on. They've been here. What did modern women? Yes. Jermaine got it. Modern women was just his way to say black women. That was his way of saying black women. But he knew he could not say black women because they would put the kibosh on it. So he used modern women as a replacement. He was talking about black women. But you can't put, I mean, you could put black women, but he wasn't going to go to 1 million subs. All right. So he was a genius working around this system. He had to change black women and put modern women. And he put modern women to replace black women. All right. So that he can use that as a way to retitle his stream. But what people have said, well, these modern women and modern women don't do this and modern women do that. No. This is not a modern woman problem. This has been a problem for many, many years, going back to 40, 50, 60, and 70 years. Okay. So it's not a modern woman issue. But because Kevin Samuels became popular, that modern woman phrase has been used as to say the modern women have changed. Not really. They haven't. They've been on this steady loop for a minute. Right? But great move by him, but he now brought the modern woman into the lexicon. So then people start saying, well, modern women this and modern women that. But what he meant was black women. But he just couldn't title it that because he was getting blamed for targeting black women. He just switched it to modern women. All right. And he got away with it. Genius shit. No government name SD says, come on, coach. I thought you were going to stay having pop the balloon reactions on Saturdays. He says, nah, you need a day off. Thank you for your hard work, coach. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. All right. Thank you, man. No pop the balloon reactions, man. De Niro Tranquillo says, my sister went to a liberal college and got turned out and is a hardcore feminist. She's asked me multiple times if I am rainbow. He says, I'm rich and she has seen me with all kinds of women. She asked me again 6 months ago. I haven't talked to her since. Okay. Guys, I've had younger women kept asking me about trannies, right? And I'm like, what? And she says, I thought all red pill men want trans. They will constantly push this in your head. And then they'll be like, I'll get you a lady boy. And then sooner or later, you're going to be like, you'll try it. And guess what? Now you a Duke shooter. Now you got down to that doom loop of what? Now you in the system. Now you painting your nails and you going to tea parties and shit. And you can't come out of it because guess what? The minute you break up with her, she going to be like, he like lady boys. So this is what he's saying. The women are pushing this and they're planting these seeds. Women are very, very patient. Okay. The reason why women have progressed the way they have, because men are impatient. We looking to solve the issue. We don't see that they're literally just matriculating the ball down the field. Okay. Y'all think women do Hail Mary. Men just want a Hail Mary. 70 yards down the fucking field, get in the end zone. What women are doing is a 10-yard fight. All right. They out here 10 yards in the cloud of dust. First down, run. Second down, second and long, play action pass. All right. 5 yards, nickel and dime down the field. They wearing your ass down. They wearing down your defensive end. They wearing down your linebacker core. They wearing down your defensive backs. And they keeping that ball. They keeping the time of possession. And they wearing y'all asses down. Little by little by little by little. One by one. Till you can't substitute nobody. You looking for an extra defensive end. Do we got one? The nigga out of breath on the sideline. You ain't even got no replacement. And guess what? The women of today, they care about the women of tomorrow. The men of today don't care about the men of tomorrow. We only care about the pussy today in front of us. So we trying to win the argument. We trying to find the solution. That's not what they're doing. They're just wearing you down and they're eventually going to get you. Okay, fuck it. I give in. One by one. One by one. That's the agenda. And guess what? It is sponsored. Okay. New lobby groups, world order. Political groups. What did the Kamala Harris election should have told you that? The Kamala Harris, what did they do? Wore us down. They stopped at nothing to try to get that woman elected. They put a fake campaign. They shamed you. They brought Barack Obama's ass out. They was wearing your ass down for a good 3.5 months. Calling you a woman hater. And this bitch couldn't put 2 goddamn words together without sounding ridiculous. We knew she wasn't presidential, but they was trying to get what they wanted. All right, they wanted that woman in the office so they can get them rights. Just boom. Were you down? Were you down? That's the plan. So men are not that patient. We're looking to be like, what's the problem? Let's solve it. They're not trying to solve the problem. They just trying to wear you down until you give in. Fuck my masculinity. I just want acceptance. And then you're good. Now you walking around sachet. Shantae. Yep, they got black. They put Ricky Smiley out. Magic Johnson. They put everybody out there to speak for Kamala Harris but Kamala Harris. Yep, she was black. All of a sudden, she was a black woman. She had soul. I'm going to ask you, we have heard nothing about Kamala Harris since November 15th, whenever the election was, November 11th. Nobody has caped for this woman till this day. They let that woman disappear like she was nothing. She garbage to this point. She can't come out here right now and score one interview today. They was trying to get her in the office. She irrelevant right now. Look, that's how patient they are. They don't give a fuck who they use or what they use to get what they want. They want to get what they want. Ain't nobody screaming she black today. Ain't nobody screaming how great she is today. She literally irrelevant. They used her, propped her ass up there to get what they wanted. And then they said, okay, bitch, you didn't do the job. And then next person up. This is what I'm talking about. Yep, Green's in the bathtub. They try to make her out to be a sister. So, all right. It's crazy, man. But y'all don't see it. So the thing is, you need to protect yourself. Shout out to no government name. What sold me to your content is that you're pro-masculinity and don't care about traits or race. I completely ignore Western media and the influence. This is why I like anime and this Eastern influence, pro-masculinity, and cater to men unapologetically, i.e. strong men and hot feminine women. We need to bring it back to that. By the way, most of us men, the reason why you see men like me in my age tend to be pro-masculine and not fake alpha is because we grew up with hyper masculinity. All right, for better or for worse. Young men are growing up saying your masculinity is toxic and questioning themselves. They're questioning their reality. They're forcing you to accept a reality that's not yours. You must be gay. You must be gay. They'll just tell it to you 100 times until finally you're painting your fingernails. We grew up with hyper masculinity. Most of what we watch and saw was hyper masculine. Rambo, Rocky, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T. All right, muscles. You know what I mean? This shit. Rappers, right? He-Man. You know, rappers sounding like this on the string. Nigga, I would do this. Woo, 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 woo. Now rappers sound like this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Whiny ass voice. This is what rappers sound like for men today. I'm going to do. Niggas be TikToking. All right, so men are growing up with way less masculinity. We have Bloodsport, Jackie Chan, Action Jackson, World Wrestling Federation, Street Fighter, NWA. A bitch is a bitch. Like, we grew up hyper masculine. Everything we got was super duper steroids, action films. So then you pair that up to what men are being fed today. They making you feel guilty for watching MMA. Oh, these men watch MMA. They're racist. DMX, you know what I mean? We was riding BMX bikes. We grew up everything hyper, like masculinity up right here. through your eyeballs and ears. Everything was super masculine. That changed. And this is where you can see the change and pivot in the agenda. Right? Where then skinny jeans, women, hairdos like women. I know people disagree with me but I guess what it is. Okay, paint your fingernails. So I've seen the dynamic shift. I've been around to see this and go, wow, we are really in a doom loop where people don't realize that they were born way after that, where that's all they know. That's all they know. But I grew up when it was completely the opposite, where everything was like, oh, be tough, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, do your push-ups. Niggas is getting bench press sets at 8. I want a bench press set. Watch any kid. Take any kid that was born in the 50s to the 90s. I bet you he has a picture of him flexing like this with his shirt off in Fruit of the Loom draws. I bet you. Take any kid born in the 50s to the 90s. I bet you there's a picture of him with him flexing like this with drawers on as a kid. Now, take any kid born in 2000 till today. I guarantee you there's no pictures of that. Zero. He got 0 pictures of him flexing. Oh, you shouldn't flex. You shouldn't show off. You don't need muscles. That's the difference between men yesterday and men today. All right. That's the truth. Right here. All right. There's a picture of that nigga in the boxing gloves, a wrestling suit, a championship belt, and him like this. Right? In a karate. Nigga got a karate. There's a picture of him doing one of those things. Football uniform or somebody. All right. Today, none of these kids got none of that shit. They got a lacrosse stick. I know lacrosse is tough, but what I'm saying is oh, man. All right, look, is that the end of the show? It is. Thank you for joining me, man. I always go too long on these streams. Shout out to our brother Ferg, says, Coach on fire. Coach on fire. Yep. Ninja in a costume. Okay, NGN, can I save these tomorrow, bro? Because it's going to go on and on. All right, but yep. 100%. All right, look, I'm going to save those for tomorrow. All right, because you just got here, I see. All right, anyway, shout out to the Coach Gang. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.